States Road to Panlatinga Road. And we've got blackouts around the areas of Tredrea Gully, Redwood Park and Hyde Park. Traffic lights still playing up in those areas. Keep that in mind if you're heading on that way this afternoon. No such luck for the cameras. They're still working hard. Like Terrace Seaton and Dawes Road at Melrose Park. OTRs, eat wraps, sandwiches and salads made with fresh quality ingredients. Only $5 Monday to Wednesday for a limited time. OTR. Making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyomaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, a possible shower tomorrow 27, sunny on Wednesday 27, partly cloudy Thursday 24. Right now it's 22 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Widespread damage, blackouts across Adelaide. See the shock result of Adelaide's unexpected windstorm. Cameras catching Adelaide drivers on their phones, so why won't they cop a fine? A former SAS soldier arrested over alleged war crimes in Afghanistan. And world first trial, the cancer pill that could be a breakthrough for epilepsy sufferers. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Green gathers the football, shrugs a tackler, and the Giants have the lead.
An alarm bell's now here for the Crows.
The siren goes, and the Crows succumb to a giant blitz in the second half.
Riola's stalking like a cat. He can grab it, he can kick it, and he dribbles it, and he gets another! He sets the crowd alight, and Port Adelaide are tearing this place apart!
Lockie Jones, come on, kick it.
He does! Yes!
Port Adelaide win the game emphatically.
6 after 4, the highs and lows of footy are back. Round 1's in the books, and we couldn't have been more excited. Timmy G and Warren Tredrea in with us this week. Boys, good afternoon.
Yes, thanks very much, Sam. Cracking weekend of sport. Adelaide United absolutely whipped Wellington Phoenix 5-1 Friday night. Our T-Birds, the Thunderbirds, got up, defeated the Firebirds in an away game, 59-44. Terrific win. Australia won the second one-dayer v India. It's all happening. Crows, narrow loss. Port, a massive win. Welcome, Warren Tredrea. How was your weekend?
Timmy, my weekend was quite good. Lost in the forest yesterday afternoon, came back, watched the Crows game, recorded it, my stepson's birthday party. That was always nice to get some pizza and some bits and pieces. And
did you say you got lost in the forest?
That's called a place in Euraidla. You should
try
it.
Right, I was going to say.
Nice.
How'd you find your way out?
Yeah, don't worry, I drowned in pizza. That's how I got lost in the forest. Don't worry, I wasn't fading away.
Oh, that's incredible. Ate your way through it.
Yeah, ate my way through it. Glad I'm looking after myself.
Like the hungry caterpillar.
I keep saying to myself, no, I don't need any more. 7 pieces later, we're all good. Interesting, and especially after Port Adelaide's bounce back from half-time. Geez, I was 7 out of 8 goals conceded. I was worried. They were playing undisciplined, poor footy, but really bounced back. And then yesterday's game, I watched on the replay and heard a lot of the call on 5AA. Scott Camporelli broke it down pretty well, and in the end just beaten at the contest. And for Crows fans, the first half was really important. Geez, there were chances there that weren't taken. And I guess that's what you ruin footy when you're away from home, tough conditions, and you leave a few points out there rather than goals. That would be disappointing. But a lot of upside too. They're kids. I told you about, I think the plan needs to be they hold the mantle at the end of the year, and what I saw yesterday, nothing surprises me. Rochelle, Rankin, Sloan battled really hard.
Fogarty.
Yeah, Fogarty good, Dawson good, Keys good, Laird quiet as he's been for a while. You know what that means? Look out this week. Yeah. He's very rarely down.
I've got to say, Campo's comments weren't far off the coaches. Let's have a listen to Matthew Nicks just on the midfield battle.
They clearly beat us in around stoppage. So centre bounce was the difference in that second half for sure, which set us up unfortunately in our back half. If they didn't score from that centre bounce, they definitely were able to bring the pressure. I thought first quarter, we had the game on our terms, but that was really the difference in the second half. Their midfielders got on top.
Yeah, that definitely hurt. I thought second half turnaround was purely centre clearances were just so damaging, weren't they?
It was a building, yeah. And that's the bit that frustrates you, because where was that first half? That wasn't the case. Fatigue one bit. Both teams are playing with the heat. But for the Crows fans, 11 of 15 goals they conceded. It's only kicked 4, conceded 11. And really, that was the issue, wasn't it? The midfield, with this new rule of 6-6-6, you can't park the bus behind, change momentum. Correct. It's really hard to change momentum, particularly when you're conceding goals. And that's what Adelaide faced, and as I said earlier, that's what they couldn't quite get across the line earlier. You had some opportunities.
Well, the first quarter,
Mate, it was all Adelaide.
I said you're watching it, and the movement of the ball and getting it in there quickly. I just felt like they should have had so much more score on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you don't put the team away, you got the class of, and we know, Taranto and Hopper have left, but there's still blokes behind. Canelio back to his best, 32.
Kelly was outstanding.
Kelly outstanding till he was concussed. He had 26. Toby Green, pound for pound, the best player in the comp. He kicks 4-4 and has 19 touches as a small medium forward.
And
Tom Green, 37, 8 clearances.
At times I thought Dude had had his measure, in several one-on-ones and things like that, and he still hit the scoreboard 8 times.
Yeah, he's an exceptional footballer. And probably the senior players from GWS, the class rose to the top and really put pressure on Adelaide. And even when they had some opportunities, there was some late free kicks, and I think Scotty Camper really touched on it perfectly. When Taylor Walker gives away that ticky touch, he said, it's not much there, but you don't need to do it. And it's a good lesson for a young group to see, hang on, this is how it can change, because it looked like Adelaide was, within a goal around about that stage, 11 points. There was still the opportunity to pinch it at the end, but probably the better team won in the end, unfortunately for the Crows, but there's a lot to like about what they put up as well.
The thing I was most concerned about, and I'm not sure how they go about recovery these days, but the first thought in my brain was I'd have every single player sleeping on a saline drip overnight, just to make sure that they woke up feeling
fresh as a daisy,
fresh as, because they've only got 6 days.
Yeah,
you've got Richmond have been sitting there since Thursday night. They got 9 days to recover, and they didn't.
Nine's too long though for me.
But they didn't play in that heat.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
And that's the thing. I think you don't want.
And it's Saturday afternoon this week.
Yeah, you don't want Adelaide players sitting around for 2 or 3 days feeling lethargic because of that game. You want it. That's what I thought. Saline drip overnight. Wake up $1 million. That's what I was thinking.
I think they're only allowed to use those if there's a genuine reason. But if there's
is there?
20,
it sounded like a genuine reason.
Tim, if there's 24 genuine reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Adelaide will taper their training nicely. But there's a lot to take out of it. I think the biggest challenge that they struggled with was in the ruck. And it's not... Bruce wasn't playing, so it was a rookie ruckman. And there is a bit of a whisper to suggest that maybe old Thilthorpe dominated in the sample on the weekend too.
Well, that was an incredible performance. He's played ruck forward, kicked 4 goals and played really well. That's got to be a confidence builder, 1 for him, but 2 for perhaps the coaching group to say, well, maybe the kid can do it.
Yeah, and that's the challenge, isn't it? You get a hand on the ball enough. Well, they won the hit outs, but the clearance numbers was a differential. But it was a massive differential in the second half of the game, and that's what really hurt.
Hey, mate, one of the lads that might not be playing, did you see the McAdam bump? What do you think?
Yeah, he's in strife.
Okay.
I thought the McAdam bump and I thought the Cozzy Pickett bump, go back 15 years, was exceptional bumps.
Yeah.
But the game has changed.
In my time, it's play on.
Yeah, and it's like, well, bad luck, you left yourself open, but the game has changed. And
significantly.
Yeah, and we only talked about it late last week where there's big litigation landed, 2 different litigations in the Supreme Court. For the CTA and concussion for the AFL. And I get it, they're going to do the right thing. So within the rules at the moment, you choose to bump. It doesn't come off well.
Take the risk.
You're going to be done. But as soon as we'll have any findings from the match review panel, we'll have them for our listeners in particular.
We'll let you know. I'm just going to get the 5AA call. Will Goodings actually called the moment and afterwards.
Ash brings it back into play. It's not a great kick because it takes a bounce, and wow, Weir was met by McAdam. He dropped the shoulder.
Weir is out.
He's knocked him. Well, no, he's getting up Weir, but it felt like there may have been head contact there. Jeez, he met him with force.
Yeah, it was met him with force.
Yeah, and then the AFL too has also tightened up this rule, so to speak.
Okay.
They're now pretty much written in potential to cause injury. And a little bit of cynicism says anytime you enter the field, that's the case. But if you choose to bump and there is potential to cause injury, there'll be suspension.
1 or 2 for you?
I think it'll be 2.
Okay, I went 1 this morning. I've been outvoted everywhere I've been. I've been and I'm talking Crows fans as well. Yeah.
I haven't seen a super slow-mo where contact was made. I saw the sweat fly from obviously his jumper and his forehead. Did the sling back. It looked like it hit him in the head. From my look, I could have a tighter look on it. If you hit in the head, I think it's guaranteed too.
Yeah. The fact that he played on might be a factor that he gets just the one.
Yeah, clearly it was no concussion, which will help your course, but you're also at a time where it is at its most angst in the AFL.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
because
absolutely.
they're looking to go, hang on, if we don't try and make an example of this,
it'll come up and
we're
rear its head in the cases.
in our court cases.
Spot on. Hey, Port Adelaide absolutely stunned Brisbane in a devastating second half of football.
Stunned us.
Well, to win by 54 points.
When you're down by 2 goals and concede 7 of 8 at that stage.
It was a concern at half-time to say,
More than
okay,
concern, Tim.
But
We were throwing
But
things.
the first quarter, I was impressed with.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, you need to get back on that horse.
But it was like Adelaide, wasn't it? They
A little
didn't
bit.
make the most of their
Didn't have it on the
opportunities early.
scoreboard, correct,
Yeah.
but it felt like we're still in it. But the devastating, and it all started in the midfield, and that young, exciting lineup, along with Scott Lysett feeding them, was outstanding. Let's have a listen to, and this is part of, the 8th of March, we spoke to Ken Hinkley at Drummond Golf, and he was telling Rowie, don't you be concerned. You've got other things to be concerned about. I've seen the whole pre-season, and I'm actually pretty happy with it.
Well, I think I should just reflect back to what I said before the game. I think it's really important that, and without being disrespectful to anyone, as I said, we had information over 3 months, and we felt like that was pretty consistent and pretty strong, and we're pretty pleased with the way in fact, we were very pleased with our pre-season. But I did reference that the last game that we played, which was on television, was what people got to look at and make some comments about. So I get why those comments were there. They were rightly accurate after that game, but I was really confident, as all the coaches were, that we'd had a really strong pre-season. I said that Friday. That's a result of a lot of hard work. And that game was going at it pretty early, ebbing and flowing, and we had to stay really composed, and I was really proud of the way they came out after half-time.
Yeah, so he was happy with the pre-season. He could see that coming. So an amazing turnaround from the FIVEAA game. Also, one of the superstars of the game, Jason Horne-Francis. Did he turn it on? And Ken says that's because he's happy.
I thought he was a really solid player for us, but I feel like he's a really solid person, and he's home, he's happy. They're the things that, help make you become a good footballer. And he's 19, he's got a long, long way to go. He'll make some mistakes. He'll make some days where it won't be quite as good as today was, but he should be mighty proud, and his family should be mighty proud that he's back home and he's played like a young man who was very happy to be home.
Yeah, well, some good highlight moments for him and other players in that midfield.
I haven't seen Port Adelaide midfielders walk out the front of a stoppage, goal side, since Peter Burgoyne in the 02 to 05 era, and Sean Burgoyne in 06 to Brendan Lade.
Yeah.
It was just through sheer brute strength, side speed, straight out the middle. Normally we're back and sideways and around and slow, because that's hard to penetrate unless you've got a special insider who can change direction at speed.
He's got one, and
yeah, he has.
And Rosie the same, he can sidestep.
Albeit one performance.
Yep,
and
exactly.
the second year player,
Plenty
but
to come
geez,
along.
it was impressive.
Another impressive performance was his first game for the footy club was Junior Rioli. He took them again, mark of the day, and the Beachwood goal of the day, all in one. Let's have a listen.
Looking long for Rioli, goes up for a hanger! Oh, it was a beauty. He goes out right.
Where'd he go?
He takes the Mickey. He now lines up a goal, and he kicks a beauty! Oh my, was that a ripper!
Now, you said instantly, it reminded you.
Of someone.
Yes.
Eddie Hocking from the Crows. Remember when he's run up and then seduced the big dopey bloke, was like me, overplay it, got turned inside out, and then that's when you pray as that bloke chasing going, I hope he misses. It never happened.
What, a bit like this?
Yeah.
As the kick-in is taken by Hocking, and Hocking marks. Hocking now gets around his opponent in Stoneham, goes for goal and pops it through. Away they go again. The fans on their feet.
Yeah,
poor Barry Stoneham, the former Cat skipper, and that commentary was probably doesn't do it justice. He really seduced him on the inside, and as the big forward and defender or ruckman go, they keep going one way and. They call him the Scud Missile.
The Scud Missile. It was almost, it was his trademark move.
Yeah, and everyone knew it was doing it.
Yeah, fading right and then bang, he cut back on the left.
Still couldn't stop
off
him.
He went. It was amazing. And I had a terrible experience with myself once where...
What'd you do?
Well, I went for my normal long runner.
So you're kicking?
And I was kicking for goal.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that the bloke had marked the ground 5 metres back. And then as I looked up, he was right upon me, and I thought, I'll do an Eddie. Except you know how he used to move right and then left?
Yeah.
My hand went right, my body stayed right where it was.
Oh, no.
Stone Motherless holding the ball. Well, I tell you what, I cop it.
What's that thing?
I still cop it today. Yeah. And ability. Got him confused.
Ambitions and ability.
It was a bit sad.
Different meaning, those.
Oh, dear. I tell you what, if you've got an ambition to go to Melbourne and see Port Adelaide play Collingwood. Well, we've got a terrific competition in our hands. Today you can travel with the power.
What, this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend.
Wow.
It's a bit of a don't forget your toothbrush moment.
Is this a little bit of the Prison Bar-ish promotion-y stuff?
Well, it could be because, it could be. Well, we're going to see the other bars, not our bars.
No, but we talk about how the clubs are going to work together,
They are.
Collingwood and Port Adelaide.
And they're taking a heap of people over.
Put a heap of buses on.
Well,
hang on, we're just going to jump ahead and jump on the plane, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to take 2 people, and it includes return flights. It's going to be travelling with the team. You're going to stay in the same hotel as the team. You're going to go to the game. You're going to get a pre-match speech from one of the assistant coaches. They're going to tell you what's happening. You're going to go into the change rooms pre-game. This is unbelievable.
Pre-game event, supporters club event at the Transport Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And so you go Friday and come back Saturday.
It's
not
bad.
Well, how do we get on this?
Oh, I don't know, but I know how the listeners do. When you hear it, just give us a call. I'm going to draw out a Guernsey number. I've got a big barrel here on the Foodland.
That's a bowl.
Live stream.
That's a fruit bowl.
And then fruit bowl with all players' numbers. I pull one out.
Put our numbers in there?
Just say it's Sam Powell Pepper. Number 2, if you're the second call through, you will win these tickets. So don't call now, but when you...
so what's it worth?
We'll tell you when.
Yes.
Over $2 grand, I reckon. With all that value there. And really, it's
and you get merchandise.
It's priceless.
This piece of paper's got a lot of stuff written on it.
It's a terrific promotion, and if you want to go, it should be a cracking game too. Should be an absolute cracker. Collingwood, of course, on the back of a win.
Though, if you're not lucky enough to get through, there are packages available at Port Adelaide website too, and game day tickets and all that sort of stuff. So
it's sensational. Well, we'll listen to 5AA throughout the week. We'll be doing this every half an hour up to 6 o'clock each day this week till around Thursday. We'll cut it off Thursday at 5, and then we will announce the winner after 5 o'clock Thursday, because you have to be on the plane Friday. That is the most important part.
So over 3 days, we'll get a whole heap of names, and then we'll pull one winner.
That's right. We'll have 14 entries by Thursday, 5 p.m. You will want to be a part of it. We're going to do it every half an hour till 6 tonight. In your chance to win, we will do that shortly. 822 300 if you want to have your say on what's happened on the weekend. Graham Corn's going to do just that in the studio very shortly from 4:30. Ben Keys on the show, Nathan Bassett for Port Adelaide, Simon Hill's on the program as well, and heaps of time for your calls. 21 after 4.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. He's got one of the best kicks in the AFL.
Smith there, the shot, 3 That's better.
And each week, Crow star Brodie Smith joins the 5AA Sports Show. Thanks to ACET Couriers. Need something delivered for your business? Don't risk it. Ace it with ACET Couriers.
As the K's tick over in your car, it's good to know Toyota will help make sure it never misses a beat. Year after year, K after K after K. With Toyota Genuine Service, the feeling never fades. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
So, welcome to the middle of the commercial break. Yes, it's a space we dedicate to promoting the many businesses we support, and it's available to your business, big or small.
Absolutely, Tim. Well, 5AA is putting on a few special talks about how we engage with our audience and how they also engage with us, and importantly, how we can deliver an engaging advertising campaign that will help you stand out from the crowd, and more now than ever, businesses, they need their attention.
Yeah, I'll be presenting this tomorrow morning and the next morning.
I thought you were crushing it.
Oh, no.
You're actually doing it
I've
now.
taken over. I had a look at it and I thought, well, there's only one man that can run this. And that man is me. You'll gain an insight into how top-rating 5AA radio shows work, and you'll take away some handy marketing tips that you can apply straight away. So we're running several sessions at the Lion Hotel in North Adelaide, and it's on March 21st, tomorrow, and Wednesday the 22nd.
Well, to head to Timmy's session or engageadelaide.com.au to choose your time that suits, plus your entry is free, which is great news.
Woohoo.
That's engageadelaide.com.au, and here's some more businesses to consider.
Hearing Australia's Hearing the Nation tour is visiting 1,000 locations during March, delivering free hearing checks for adults. Search Hearing the Nation for more.
Hearing Australia.
Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
Meet Travis, a proud South Australian CFMEU member.
It's an honour to represent workers. As a Dello, you're there for the brothers and the sisters, and they trust you. They trust you. When people are going through things in their life, they felt comfortable coming to me as a Dello and talking to me. And being able to talk one-on-one with another human being and make them feel comfortable and better and just try to guide them was very, very rewarding.
We built this city. The CFMEU, your union of opportunity.
Every small business is on a journey, but some are on an obstacle course, jumping from invoicing to marketing to social media. That's why you need Thrive, the all-in-one management software built for small business. Search Thrive, THRYV today.
Every day, Bupa helps prepare millions of Australians for life's ups and downs. Which is why we're delaying premium increases for Bupa members until the 1st of October 2023. Search Bupa to find out more.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes after 4, Rowie on leave for his 30-year wedding anniversary. Back next week. Treda's in the chair with Timmy G. And, of course, footy on 5AA is all thanks to Rossdale Homes, the custom home, 2-storey, split-level specialists. Let's check your traffic.
At Hawthorn, got a tree down Golden Street and Hampton Streets. Morford Vale Road closed there due to a blackout. Wheatsheaf Road, that's between States Road and Palantinga Road. Got blackouts around the areas of Tredrea Gully, Redwood Park and Hyde Park. Still got traffic lights playing up in those areas, so take it easy on the drive home. But the cameras, they've still got power going to them. Everard Avenue, Keswick, you'll find them, and Dunrobin Road at Warradale. Enjoy the Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 SUV with savings from $3,900, but only while limited stocks last. Visit a Mercedes-Benz retailer today. T&Cs apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
All right, so we talked about it just before the break, but we're going to do our first one here, our Travel with the Power competition. Timmy, you went through how it works. Every half an hour on the sports show this week until 5 o'clock on Thursday, we're going to draw out of that bowl there, a number of a Port Adelaide player. That corresponding Guernsey number is what number caller you have to be. This is a $2,000 prize, and we're going to give 14 people a chance to get in the draw this week. So, let's get their hand in the bowl,
right.
Timmy.
Okay.
Who have you got? Here we go.
They're stuck together. Here we go. Number 3, Ryan Burton, played a cracking game.
Okay, be quick on the lines. 8223 0055. You've got to be the third caller through to be part of the Travel with the Power prize pack.
Beautiful. Now, let's go to the lines. We've got Terry on the line. G'day, Terry.
G'day, Timmy, Treaders. How are you, boys?
Good buddy. What do you think of the Crows, mate?
Oh, well, geez. You know, bad kicking is bad footy, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's how it felt in that first half especially.
Well, you know, when you leave the door open, things can happen. At least they could have shut the door and at least sort of had a few more on by half-time and then tried to keep it shut. But, look, I don't want to... I hate singling out any one player or any one, part of it, but I went to my mate's man cave, as we do, when I don't watch the game live. I mean, I do watch a lot of games live. I've got a good seat in the southern stand. And I said to my mate, he goes, how do you reckon we'll go? I said, well, mate, it's a 50-50. And he said to me, he goes, oh, but the Crows have been playing well. And I said, last year I watched GWS at Adelaide Oval beat us by 10 goals.
Yeah.
And I said, because we lost 14 centre clearances in a row.
Wow.
And by half-time, he was looking at me going, oh, what are you talking about, Tedder? You know, you probably had a few too many sherbets at the game last year, and all of a sudden, that's exactly what happened
in the second half.
After half-time.
Was it 12-3?
Exactly the
12-3,
same.
I think.
It was like Groundhog Day, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an area, Terry, I think even, Matthew Nix brought it up in the post-game. He just said, yeah, that's where we were clearly beaten, and unfortunately you got to start your attacks from half-back then and not straight out of the middle. So Looked so dangerous early. That was the thing I liked about him.
All right, just before we go to the break, Graham Corn's coming up on the other side. Did you hear Scott Pendlebury speak about the bump today? Because this was an interesting talking point. We'll get your opinions on this. Let's have a quick listen.
I think for years there's been the question around, are we going to punish the outcome or the action? And where do we live? And we still live in the punishing the outcome, which I think, rightly or wrongly, I don't agree with that. I think it should be the action that gets punished. That's, they're not football actions. Yeah, your intention is to hurt. And I'm talking for everyone in the game here, not about those instances, but I think it's something that we need to get rid of out of our game. And this chat's been going on for 5 or 6 years. And watching the NRL, if there's stuff like that happens, is, they get sin bin plays, and I don't mind that for our game. Like say if Pickett was to get sin bin, so it's a complete disadvantage. Now you play 17 v 18 for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah, those non-football actions, I think we really need to treat seriously and get out of our game.
What do you think?
Yeah, well, that's... I said a year ago the bump has to come out because you can't control it. And I think
I don't think you take it out, but I love that idea. Because if you do and you run the risk, you're one man down.
But you're also going to get games.
Yeah, you're going to get games too.
As
but
well.
But you do that, that's on you. Because we can lay some perfect bumps. I remember seeing Hamish Hartlett lay one in a final for years.
Yeah, it was a cracker.
And there's been some wonderful bumps and clean-ups and get in the contest. Because if you make it think that players can't win the one-on-one contest when it's like... Remember the Sloane Dangerfield one in the 2017...
Iconic.
Prelim final that Adelaide belted Geelong at.
Yeah.
And they both went whack, but Sloane come out with the footy. That wasn't illegal, but I want to still see that.
Yeah.
Because that's the game we've got. I would love a sin bin idea.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Have your say, 8223.
Drop your forward pockets and hope for the best.
0000. Cornsey will tell us what he thinks. And also congrats to Jeanette. You're in the running for our Travel with the Power. She was our third caller through because we pulled out the number 3 from our bowl. We'll do that again next half hour. It's time for the 4:30 headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with news headlines. SA Power Networks is warning some residents won't be back online till tomorrow. More than 23,500 properties are still blacked out. It was back to North Terrace today for the Premier, Peter Malinauskas, briefing Cabinet on his quick trip to the UK in the wake of the AUKUS announcement. A former SAS soldier has been formally refused bail while fronting court, accused of a war crime during the time he was serving in Afghanistan. And in sport, Aaron Finch and Marcus Stoinis have been drafted by San Francisco for Major League Cricket's inaugural season. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Got a tree down at Hawthorn causing a few dramas. Golden Street at Hadman Street. More for Varga Road closed there still due to a blackout at Sweetchef Road between States Road and Penalatinga Road. And still got blackouts from those storms last night in Tree Gully, Redwood Park and Hyde Park. Traffic lights playing up on those areas too. Busy right now, South Road at Karata Park with the camera trimmer parade at Seaton. Trains can travel up to 100 kilometres per hour. Trains can't stop quickly. You can. Stand back, look up, stay rail safe. A message from the Government of South Australia. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy tonight down to 16, a possible morning shower tomorrow 28. Right now it's 22 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
The biggest story in South Australia, and that's the road toll. These deaths that we've seen in the past 72 hours, this lady in Windsor Gardens, she went out to get some vegetable oil to cook her dinner, never made it home.
Informing Adelaide.
It looks very much like it was caused by the absolute moronic hoon driving of some 22-year-old half-wit who's weaving in and out of traffic and killed this woman. They should throw the book at that cretin. What the hell's going on? It's like a death cult.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
The heat is on, and air conditioning is one of those necessities we just can't live without. So if your car's aircon isn't keeping you cool, you need an Automasters aircon service. And that funny smell probably isn't a dog, but an unhealthy bacteria build-up in the system. But don't worry, we'll sort that out for you too. Beat the heat. Keep cool with Fix Now, Pay Later options available. Book now. For great service guaranteed, call 1300 Automasters.
Who can fix the shower?
Service today.
Who can fix the power?
Service today.
Yes, we can, is what we say at Service Today.
Every time you see our bright yellow trucks in your area, we're helping out your neighbours. We can help you too. So for the best plumbing, electrical, heating and cooling work, call Service Today 24/7.
Can you fix the shower? Yes, we can. Can you fix the power? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, is what we say at Service Today.
Call 1300 Service.
Now, there's probably nothing better than a dip in your own pool on a hot summer's day. Yeah, sure, pools can take a bit of time and money, but it's worth it. But this time of year, you're just starting to close. It's like a closing down ceremony for these swimming pools.
It's a bit colder. It's a little bit harder to hop in. But the smart thing to do, Timmy,
what is it?
Put your pool to bed for winter with a Walco Guardian pool cover. This will preserve the chemicals, will keep your water clean, and you won't need to run your pump 24/7.
It's actually
Just
true.
think about all the money you're going to save for not running the pump for hours every day.
Actually, I did this last year for the first time, and I couldn't believe when I took it off after all the months how clean the pool was.
So it wasn't green?
No.
No ducks in it?
That is the beauty, and which I've had.
Yes.
Unbelievable
They're
creatures in it.
expensive to get rid of those ducks.
Yeah, painful. So, as soon as the good weather returns, well, that's when the Walco Guardian pool cover can come off and you can dive straight into it. No problems at all. No green, no gooey swamp, no nothing. It is magnificent. You can take on the summer. Get and do it.
I will do it, Timmy. Well, get your pool a Walco Guardian pool cover for winter now. Walco.com.au.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Cancer diagnosis is a traumatic and emotional life event, but we are here to help. Western Hospital offers a wide range of cancer services to those in the western suburbs and beyond. We pride ourselves on assisting our community for the past 25 years in the fight against cancer within our friendly chemotherapy unit. Experienced nursing staff are the cornerstone when providing outstanding care. Visit westernhospital.com.au.
The heat is on, and if your car's aircon isn't keeping you cool, you need an Automasters aircon service. Beat the heat. Keep cool with Fix Now, Pay Later options available. For great service guaranteed, call 1300 Automasters.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 24 minutes to 5. Nathan Bassett and Ben Keys all coming up on the show, but it's time to welcome in Graham Corns for BL Shipway, a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years.
Oh, there he is, giving the Queen's wave to the Norwood supporters.
Graham Studley Corns.
Yeah, well, Tredders, you probably don't know this, but we're in the presence of greatness. Let me tell you, this man here.
He's come in beating his chest. Did you know what I've done?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He's picked the card.
What are you talking about, mate?
He has
you
picked
know
the
what I've
card.
done? No, I didn't know what
Excuse
you've
me,
done.
I did not raise it.
You're amazing.
I did not raise it.
I'm actually, I'm so impressed because you sat here and you told Stephen and I last week, you said, no, Port will win, Crows will lose, and I'm like, wow. I said, that's reverse of what he's saying. And then you've not only done that, you've picked every other winner. You can't pick a draw.
No.
But gee whiz, mate.
Off
What
to
a week for you.
Start,
Yeah.
So what, 8 from 9?
Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
And really, Carlton was an.
So you're claiming Carlton as well?
I'm claiming Carlton as well.
Wow. He's
So,
not shy, is he?
Given the fact that I finished absolutely dead last year in the
Yeah.
advertiser tipping poll, I'm being very quiet about it, really, because it can change
Embrace
overnight.
it, Graham.
Now, in saying
Embrace
that,
it.
I mean, you've had a great tipping comp, but you must have still been shattered by the Crows' loss because looking, and I must say, first half, I thought you should have been 7 or 8 goal up.
Before we get to that, what has happened to this radio station?
Oh.
We've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous. How come we've got 2 Port Nuffies on this?
Graham,
How
let's
come?
put it this way. When I grew up,
Sam,
going
do you
to
barrack for Port?
athletics at the old
Who's the other
Railways
Nuffy?
Oval,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Listening to KG and Hooksy, right?
Yeah.
KG and Cornsey,
Well, it's the way it should
Cornsey
be.
and Bone, Rowie and Bone, Rowie and
Rowie.
Bix.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it.
And we've got 8 days. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm now 45 soon to be. I started listening when I was 12.
Doesn't make it right.
I love it. Well, Crows fans have got their chance. 8223 0000.
What was the
Cornsey will
question?
take your call.
What
But
was the
look, what will Matty Nix be most disappointed in?
I'd be furious at their lack of heart. Now,
really?
It's just
You can't say that from the start, though, can you?
Not at all. Well, anyone. How often do you see teams start well, have a good season? And they started really well. Had they kicked straight, they may have
should have been 7 or 8 up.
It should have, but then again, that's another problem because if you're not converting, that's a flaw in your team's makeup. But I didn't expect them to win, obviously, because I tipped GWS. And GWS on paper probably a better balanced team with probably more brilliant players.
Well, their top 4 are brilliant, aren't they? Mids.
Exactly. So but when they all started to go down, when they lost players, when players were on the ground, could not move and could not run, that's when the Crows should have kicked in. Now they have this fantastic fitness program, Darren Burgess there, and they must have been confident in their fitness. But GWS won that on heart. I don't think there's any other way you can describe it.
Was it purely they actually couldn't get their hands on it at the
Crows? They willed it, and that's the other thing. We'll come to that. What could he have done in the? Did he sense the shift in momentum?
Well, you have to, Graham.
Most coaches would.
Clearances were 12-3 in the second half.
And then what do you do about that? Now I know Elliot Himmelberg came into the centre square for the last couple of bounces, but it was coming out just so easily. So what do you do there? Who else can you put in there? You've got to mix it up. Could Taylor Walker have gone in as a ruckman? Because he does ruck well around the boundary. You can't use your body quite as well, but he might have been worth a crack. I mean, Lockie Jones rucked for Port Adelaide, for heaven's sake. I'm thinking, what's going on?
He did all right too, didn't he?
Do you think he needed to move a Sloan, a Keys, a senior head in there?
I would have put Fogarty in there.
Yeah.
Because the Crows have got a great forward line. But if the ball's not getting down there, and Fogarty got a big body, he's got some confidence now.
Well, it seemed like when Himmelberg went in at the end, that's when they got the 3 clearances.
They got two of the three. But it wasn't gone then. The game was in doubt really right up until Haynes kicked that impossible goal. Really, he couldn't move. He's cramping all over his body, but he somehow found the will to get up and. That's what he would have been disappointed with. Yes, he'll make positives from it. I mean, I don't know what he's going to say behind closed doors. Have you got a Crows player on this week?
Ben Keys.
A bit later tonight.
Well, is it recorded?
No.
Right.
Fresh.
Right. So you know the questions to ask him.
Yeah. Come on, give me one.
What's
your favourite colour?
Okay, hard hitting. It's a pretty good question. What are you thinking of me? You rattled him, Timmy. He's properly rattled.
So did Matthew Nix query their heart? Did he,
their spirit.
Their spirit. Yeah. Well, the willingness to get up and run when you can't. You know that's and to run a bit harder because, I heard Toby Green say at the end of the game. I mean, it doesn't look like it on TV. You can't tell what it's like. But he says it's the toughest game he's ever played in. Now, for heaven's sake, that's But they won. They won, and they won when they shouldn't have done. Look, so you'd ask him that, and what was that? What was Nixie's other messages to come out of it? Did Nixie talk about the midfield, what he could have done? And I know. Ben Keys went in there at one stage. Towards
he did. He actually cleared one of those ones that I was talking about. Hit the target, and then Dawson hit the target inside, which was Pedler, I think, who kicked the goal.
Yep.
And he's one of the. We'll talk about the. I've got lots of negatives, but there are definitely positives to come out of it.
We're expecting any minute now the AFL to come through with what they've found with the McAdam incident. What's your take?
1-ish to 2, to 1 to 2. I mean, it's pretty similar to the Keziah Pickett one, probably not quite as violent, but gee, when you see it in slow motion, when the sweat flies off his head like he's been hit in a boxing ring, and that's the other thing. Why haven't coaches banned their players from bumping? Nothing good can come from a bump in this day and age.
That's how I feel.
And Darcy Byrne-Jones shouldn't get away with that because he tried to line out young Ashcroft, missed him.
Should have tackled him.
Kicked the goal. Should have tackled him. But had he hit him, he probably would have been reported.
Correct. You ended up doing something that gets you going.
See, I still think there's one for the 50-50. Remember the Sloan, I mentioned it before, the Sloan Dangerfield 50-50 in the prelim.
Yeah, but that's an accident.
I know. But
he wasn't intending to bump.
But anyone who tries to stop someone with a bump, it's not going to work well.
Well, you're more contemporary traders. Did they ever talk about not bumping?
Oh, mate, Mark Williams would
don't bump, tackle.
Oh, yeah, tackle, and if in doubt, tackle again.
He was big on that, wasn't he?
Yeah, when he was big on he was involved in the Byron Pickett. Remember?
Yeah,
cleaned up James Begley, and he was like, we don't want people over the footy getting bumped near the head. He was one of the big ones against his own player at the time. So he was massive on it because if you miss, the person doesn't stop. You can have a tackle. Even if you don't stick the tackle, it slows them down.
Yeah, there's this situation where the player hasn't controlled the ball, doesn't have the ball. What do you do then? You're trying to get position, but I'd rather they lent against these rather than try and line a guy up and bump. I mean, the front on bump should have been outlawed decades ago because that's just a brutal, cowardly thing to do to a footballer, basically, to an opponent. But if the AFL is not going to do it, the coaches definitely should be saying.
Well, times have changed, Graham, because I can remember the second semi-final in 1990.
Don't you say Kim Kinnear.
No, 1990, you were coaching Glenelg.
Yeah.
Glenelg playing Port. You guys won. Fortnight later, the season's over. I run into Alan Bartlett. In that game, I got taken right up the front brilliantly by Alan Bartlett. Awkward ball. Just had to sit under it. Bang, right up the middle. Little daisies around the head.
Go on.
When I'm talking to him a fortnight later, I saw him and we get on very well. I said, Bart, mate, fair dinkum. I said, you owe me a beer. I said, mate, you absolutely slaughtered me up the middle that second semi. God, blimey. He said, really? I said, well, it hurt. And let me tell you, it took me a while to get up. And he said, Cornsey won, Nappy. Oh. And I said, why? He said, because you got up. He said, I didn't do it properly. So, Graham, times have changed.
You made that up.
I did not make that up. I'll tell you, Alan Bartlett will tell you the truth.
The instruction was always that if you get a chance, clean them up, and don't tell me.
Well, it's changed, hasn't it?
Tackle to hurt. It's the same thing.
Now you're saying take it out the game. And fair enough, too.
No,
I agree.
I've been saying it for quite a few years now. Take the front on bump out of the game. But now why are players still doing it? Just ridiculous.
Mate, I've got one for you. It's on the Foodland text. Tez says, hi, boys. I hate to single any one guy out in a loss, but is there an elephant in the room with O'Brien? It just seems like he doesn't quite have the skill. We picked Phil Thorpe at 2. We should start playing him. What's next waiting for? He's been with us now. He's into his 4th year. He's not going to be getting better at AFL if he's playing in the sample.
Well, you guys were at the meeting we had with and Matthew Nix could not have been more complimentary about Riley O'Brien and the standards that he set and the example that he provides. He and Ben Keys.
That's why he's in the leadership group.
He's singled out Ben Keys and Riley O'Brien. Now, neither of them are the most skillful players, are they? But if you talk about heart. But look, if clearly neither Himmelberg or Thilthorpe are better ruckmen than Riley O'Brien. Maybe better footballers, but maybe Strawn is as good a ruckman, if not better. But so they'll be looking at that very closely. But when you've got a player who sets an example and is a leader, lays everything on the track for him, it's very hard to drop him.
And I think that time too is even more magnified when you're in a rebuild.
Yeah, right.
Because you build, you look at those players came into the team 2 or 3 years ago when Adelaide was low. You got to build your substance and your brand off the back of that. And we had Port had a lot of that when they were struggling at Footy Park.
I don't think we want to hear that word rebuild again this year, do we?
No, but I'm just saying when you start. But eventually, Graham, you need to be in the situation, I think, where if Thilthorpe on form leaves people like O'Brien behind.
Do you want to do your positives now or after the break?
We can do it after the break.
We can do that.
All right, fair enough. Looking forward to those.
We definitely are. 12 minutes to 5. Let's check your roads.
At Melrose Park at a crash South Road near Crossroad. Morford Vale Road closed due to a blackout. Wheatsheaf Road between States Road and Panlatinga Road. And we've got blackouts around the areas of St Maurice, Glenside and Hyde Park. Traffic lights still playing up in those areas, so take it nice and easy on the drive home. You'll find cameras tonight, Raglan Avenue, Edwardstown and Tapley Hill Road at Royal Park. With access to over 150 insurers, your Steadfast broker can arrange the right cover for your business. Deductibles, exclusions and limits apply. Insurance issued by various insurers and can differ. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
It's incredible. Over 75% of tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery have already been sold. Don't miss your chance to win the $3.5 million grand prize and live mortgage-free in Henley Beach with a huge catalogue of prizes, including epic holidays and luxury vehicles. Get your tickets before it sells out. To see full lottery details and get your tickets, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14311.
Don't miss the Southern Volkswagen Mad Munch 4-day sale event. Score incredible deals, free CTP, free rego, plus your choice of one of 3 huge bonuses. This 4-day sale event must end this Saturday, only at Southern Volkswagen. LVD 152780.
This weekend will be a very special one for South Australia, as we are on the cusp of becoming the first state to have a First Nations voice to Parliament. This is a nation-leading opportunity for South Australia. It will demonstrate to the rest of the country the importance of giving our First Nations people a great say in the laws and policies that affect their lives.
Well, that's right, Timmy. That's why this won't be just an historic moment for First Nations people, but for all South Australians. On Sunday, there will be a special parliamentary sitting, and the First Nations voice is set to become law. So show your support and witness history, 11 a.m. this Sunday, the 26th of March, on the steps of Parliament House.
Hi, Alan Lark from Mannix Air. In our harsh Australian climate, there's nothing better than a Mitsubishi Heavy Industries wall split to cool or heat your home. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries is highly awarded, super efficient and super quiet. A quality choice for your home. Best of all, purchase one now at Adelaide's best prices from Mannix and get up to $250 cash bonus from Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Conditions apply. For a free quote, call 1300 Mannix or go online anytime.
Let's cross live now to Sarah for news on how Hearing Australia is making it easy for Australians to receive expert hearing care.
That's right, Andrew. You join me on the Hearing the Nation tour, which is visiting 1,000 locations during March, delivering free hearing checks for adults. Search Hearing the Nation or call 134 432 to book your check today.
Hearing Australia.
Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
Please don't hold this against me, but if bi-urban bathrooms and kitchens is not your thing, well, that's okay. I mean, if people gushing over your new kitchen and bathroom means nothing to you, nothing at all, that's completely fine, I guess. But if you do appreciate millimetre-perfect craftsmanship and service of the highest standard, start here. Buyurban.com.au. Adelaide's home renovation experts.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Treaders with Timmy G. Rowie on leave back next week. We've still got your chance before 5 o'clock to travel with the power to the MCG. We'll do that shortly.
Absolutely. We're going to get Graham Corns' positives from the Crows game on the weekend.
The positive is that song we came back with.
Yeah, that's a cracker, isn't it?
No secrets.
Is that one?
That's the one. Angels, great South Australian group. Now, look, the positives are, I think the Crows forward line is as threatening as any in the competition. When we got
just didn't kick accurate,
big and great at ground level. The negative is that they didn't convert. Now that's sometimes just a weekly thing. You can get next week you come out and you'll kick 9 goals, 1.
It's plenty of danger there.
So it's a cycle. But if they can get the ball there, they're going to do a heck of a lot of damage. The continued development of Rochelle and Saligo. Now Rankin. You can put Rankin in there, but I think he's an established.
You expected that.
You expect him to be good, but Rochelle now working and Saligo looking more and more like a really good player. So Luke Pedler. Now he did more yesterday than he did in either.
He looked very good
in any of the pre-season games, but you can see why they like him. He's tough, and he's got a weapon.
Yeah.
Very few players have got a beautiful left foot kick, and they're probably one of the best weapons you can have in footy is that beautiful left foot kick. So they'll continue to develop him and encourage him, and we'll see him move into the midfield a little bit more. Max Michelini looked at home. He looks he's skinny. and he needs to. He's not skinny, but he's not as heavy as some of the guys.
He's young.
The development will continue, and he has got a big future in front of him. He might be up and down a few times. He shouldn't be discouraged by that. He's going to be in and out of the team as he's developing, but. The defence did lose shape in the last quarter, which was an issue. But I'm not blaming
Nick
him.
Murray going off didn't help.
No, I'm liking the continued development of Nick Murray because he is big, and he can take a good mark, and he's got a reasonable. Well, he's got a good kick on him, so I like him. Rory Sloane is a new recruit.
He played very well.
Yeah.
So
I loved his work.
I'm putting that down as real positive. I thought he, after the knee injury. When and the team's struggling and then trying to, I'm not going to use the word.
No,
that maybe there would not be a spot for him. But
Yeah, I was the same thinking, Graham.
But he's made a spot for himself on the wing, and it's absolutely like a new recruit. So it's not despair. I didn't expect them to win, even though as the game progressed they had their chances, but you would expect them to beat Richmond this week at home. This is the real test.
They must
because
win.
Richmond are a terrific
And
team.
they're coming off 9-day break, I think Timmy said earlier.
Compared to 6, that's not great.
It's still. I mean, it's a fact, and that forward line is threatening. Richmond's forward line is very threatening against an inexperienced Adelaide defence. But I still think at home, if they're going to progress this year, they have to make a statement this Saturday, as Port Adelaide did last week.
Behind them,
and I think they can win.
Cornsey, we've got a call for you. Brett from Hillbank's called in. Brett, what do you want to ask Cornsey?
I want to talk about the Crows. I didn't watch the game live yesterday. I was playing golf. But I did hear one of the friends of I was playing with say when we were in front, we actually were still losing the clearances. Not by much, but we were losing them. And I watched the game when I came home, and sort of sat up and watched the game last night. Now, what I took from the game was that we're still lacking in the midfield. I mean, for 2 years now, probably even 3, we've been screaming out for midfielders. The Crows go out and get Rankin. They really didn't get much else during the year. I don't know. What about Haitley? I mean, didn't we get him because he was a big-bodied midfielder, and he's been languishing in the SANFL for the last couple of years? What's been going on there, Cornsey?
Well, he hasn't put his selection beyond doubt. I've watched him closely, and I don't want to be critical of the young fella, but he hasn't got enough of the ball, and he hasn't done enough with it when he's got it. I mean, you've got to put your selection beyond doubt. Force your way into the teams, unless you're a young player who they're developing, like Michael Andy perhaps. But I think he needs to do a bit more, really, to force his way in.
Cornsey, there's also a text coming through on our Foodland text line. Said, Cornsey, it doesn't help that McHenry and Jones are sitting in the 2s and making a comparison to Port Adelaide, where Butters and Rosie are out of the same draft, are mainstays. He's saying Mackesy versus Georgiadis is another, and this person wants changes to the recruiting department.
Yeah, well, it's always going to be critical, but you've got McHenry and Murphy.
Yeah.
And
Jones.
And Jones. Well, you've got Soligo, you've got Rochelle. It's not Rochelle. Rankin and Pedler taking their place.
Yeah.
That's the so there's a.
But there's no ready-made.
No,
you go and get Rankin, who's a very good forward, and it's mostly he hasn't proven. He's had one probably real good year of the AFL. Had a lot of injury problems, but he's sheer talent, right? But there's no free agents sitting there ready to be picked off by Adelaide. We saw Dawson last year was a brilliant addition, but you're not going to get 3 or 4 or 5 in a row until you're potentially in the finals.
Look, there's those guys are on the fringe. Again, they've done some nice things when they occasionally done nice things, but not consistently done nice things. So they're trying to build a team, and I can't be critical of. I mean, as much as I love Ned McHenry and I love Lockie Murphy, and Jones has got pace and a reasonable disposal, but again, they haven't put their position beyond doubt, or the selection beyond doubt.
Why are you here, Grant?
Can I tell you about Shippy?
Yes, you can.
BL Shipway, a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years. I read the wrong one, didn't I?
Oh, no, you're right.
That's all right. That's the top.
You're doing a good job. Keep it going. It's great.
I meant to ring him today. See, Shippy, I'm sorry, but I'll ring you next week. Now, BL
Bring him
Shipway,
on the way home.
And I wanted to ring him and say, is there anything you want me to say?
Oh, right, anything,
And he said, no, look, we just
they're
good
on
South
Richmond
Australian
Road at the
company,
moment.
Long-serving employees, a great company. Like BL Shipway has been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953. If you can't get into their huge Richmond Road location, I'll say that again, Richmond Road location, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you, okay? BL Shipway.
Excellent work, Cornsey. Now, before you go, we're about to hit the 5 o'clock news. We have to give away
Let him do
an
it first
opportunity
before he realises what he's doing.
to travel with the power. You're going to
just
pull
the
out a
one,
number.
Grant. You're helping a Port fan get to the game this weekend.
What's second prize?
Here we go, Cornsey. What have you got?
Who'd we get, mate?
Orazio Fantasia.
What number is Orazio?
Number 13.
All right, 13th caller through 82230055. This is a $2,000
Lucky it's not a
prize.
crow's cock, because if you said Sean Wren, we'll have to wait for a lot of phone calls.
Call us now. 5 o'clock news time. Port fans, Nathan Bassett on the other side.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a possible morning shower tomorrow, 28. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Get 10-year warranty and 10 years capped price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Some residents in the metro area won't have their power back on till tomorrow. Dozens of suburbs remain offline after strong winds overnight. Over 22,000 customers are currently blacked out, with the eastern side of the city the hardest hit. The SES has had almost 400 calls. SA Power Network says they've been inundated with calls for down power lines. Millie lives at Modbury and says a huge branch came down outside her house, bending a Stobie pole in half.
We've been quite worried by the tree ever since we moved in. I've had it checked by the council twice because I was worried that it was quite dry, and it's never been lopped, and now it's lopped itself.
Regional crews have been brought in and extra inspectors have been on the ground this afternoon assessing the damage. It was back to North Terrace today for the Premier, Peter Malinauskas, briefing Cabinet on his quick trip to the UK in the wake of the AUKUS announcement. He spent several days in Britain visiting a shipyard specialising in nuclear subs and meeting defence officials. He says there's a lot to do.
The one prevailing message was we've got to start the workforce development in South Australia now. There are lots of skills that we need to produce in South Australia that we don't currently possess.
Local researchers claim a new groundbreaking treatment for epilepsy is surgery in a pill. The pill is taken daily and was originally developed by researchers at the University of Melbourne as a treatment for cancer and has been tested successfully in animals. Neuroscientist Dr. Pablo Casillas Espinosa hopes it will be available within years.
In the next 5 years, we'll have some amazing results from our clinical trials, so that will give us hope to continue in a larger scale, multi-center clinical trial that can take it worldwide. But it's really important to say that now we're actually going to test it in patients because we know that it's really safe.
52 drivers have been caught either under the influence of drink or drugs during a 24-hour police blitz on our roads. The operation ran from 7 a.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Saturday. Friday was St Patrick's Day. The highest alcohol reading was a man from Henley Beach South who blew .187, nearly 4 times the legal limit. SAPOL says it's a disappointing result given a similar blitz in December netted 35 drink or drug drivers. Almost 5 million welfare recipients will receive extra money from today to help deal with cost of living pressures. Michael Packy has more.
The age and disability pension, along with the carer allowance, will jump by around $37.50 for singles each fortnight and just over $56 for couples. The lift is part of a twice-yearly rise to welfare payments, with the next increase due in September. The job seeker rate will also rise, as will rent assistance. Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth says the increase will help many Australians.
This extra indexation will provide cost of living relief.
Separately, unions are demanding workers on the minimum wage receive a boost of about $56 a week to match inflation. But some businesses say such a rise could force them to cut hours or slash jobs.
Now Now turning to 5AA sport, and the fallout from round 1 in the AFL continues. Geelong's Tom Stewart has sustained a grade 2 MCL strain following an incident on Friday night and is expected to miss up to a month. The 4-time All-Australian was substituted out of the loss to Collingwood at quarter time after slipping on the recently laid turf at the MCG. There are renewed calls for a roof over the MCG after curators were accused of taking a punt on the ground's condition. Carlton star Sam Doherty said he felt nervous stepping onto the surface after turf was replaced following recent concerts. Eddie Maguire telling the Eddie and Jimmy podcast the groundkeepers should look to Miami in the US for inspiration.
What they did is they've got the old stadium, they renovated it, did a really good job on it, but they basically have a structure around it and above it so the roof can slide on and slide off. Because if we are going to have Ed Sheeran, it wasn't so much the crowded Ed Sheeran, it was the fact that it rained after the crowd left a couple of days later.
Lance Franklin has accepted a one-match ban for a high bump on Suns defender Sam Collins. He'll miss this weekend's clash. And Melbourne forward Cozzy Pickett has accepted a 2-week ban for rough conduct after a big bump on Bailey Smith. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Melrose Park, got a crash South Road near Cross Road. Morford Vale Road closed due to a blackout. That's Wheatsheaf Road between States Road and Penalty Road. And still got blackouts in a few areas from the storms last night, including Glenside, Hyde Park and Netherby. Traffic lights playing up in those areas, so do take it easy on the drive home. No such luck for the cameras. They're still working. You'll find one Days Road, Croydon Park and Everard Avenue at Ashford. Did you know Guzmani Gomez hard-shelled taco with iceberg lettuce, cheese and ground beef cost just $3? That's great value. Look up hashtag GYG Did You Know for more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight down to 16. A possible morning shower tomorrow 28. Sunny on Wednesday also 28. Thursday mostly sunny and 24. Right now it's 22 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Widespread damage, blackouts across Adelaide. See the shock result of Adelaide's unexpected windstorm. Cameras catching Adelaide drivers on their phones, so why won't they cop a fine? A former SAS soldier arrested over alleged war crimes in Afghanistan. And world first trial, the cancer pill that could be a breakthrough for epilepsy sufferers. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
Decor Lighting's big 5-day sale is on now. In-store only. Get 20% off all decorative pendant lighting, table and floor lamps. 5 days only, 24 The Parade, Norwood.
Decorate with Decor Lighting.
With summer over, it is the perfect time to update your window furnishings for a naturally warm home over winter. Rundle Blinds and Curtains is Adelaide's premier window furnishings company. Our expert team offers stunning solutions to insulate your home and save on energy bills. Plus, our state-of-the-art showroom offers an immersive retail experience where you can truly appreciate the quality of our products. Experience the Rundle Blinds and Curtains difference. Visit the Kings Park showroom or call 8274 1210.
Oh, hello. Now, if your car window is smashed, cracked, scratched or chipped, don't mess around. Call Complete Windscreens. Stephen's not here, so this is the time to go in and say, Rowie told me that I could get this fantastic offer on this chip windscreen. And look, you don't even have to worry about that because they are magnificent. For over 40 years, this family-owned SA company has given motorists a clear view of the road ahead with a 24-hour windscreen repair replacement service. Oh yeah, I saw you sitting there going, 24 hours, really? That's how many hours there is in a day. Correct. Windscreen repair and replacement 24 hours a day. No one does it better. Hayden and Lindsay Dean, legends at Complete Windscreen, which, for the very reason you should tell your insurance company that you want to deal with Complete Windscreens. You want them to do the job. That's what you can do. Remember, you don't have to use your insurance company's windscreen repairer. You have a choice. So insist on Complete Windscreens. You deserve the best, and so does your car. So visit completewindscreens.com.au before Rowie gets back.
Barnacle Bill, serving South Australia with quality cooked seafood for over 50 years. Each order is freshly prepared using the finest quality seafood. Sumptuous prawns, calamari, mouth-watering butterfish and chips with Barnacle Bill's own tartare sauce. From a snack pack for one, crew pack for four, or for the whole family. Come in and see why Barnacle Bill has been serving South Australia quality seafood for over 50 years.
Fresh from the sea, he's gotta be Barnacle Bill.
Walko, Blanky! Walko, Blanky! Walko, Blanky! This is a game Pool and I play. Each night I come out and put her Walko blankie on. Keeps her from evaporating. But winter is coming. Soon she'll need her Walko Guardian pool cover. Sure, the fun ends, but I know she's looked after. Chemicals sealed off from the light, water clean, and no need for your pump. Get your pool a Walko Guardian pool cover for winter. Walko.com.au.
Oh, sure, we'll help you with your groceries. Your cleaning too. That's right, you can continue living in your own home. Yes, we have a great health and wellness team. Oh, 72? Yeah, no, that's the perfect age to take up photography as a hobby. Figuring out aged care for yourself or a loved one? Start with Anglicare SA. Our experts will help you navigate aged care and personalise the services you need. Search Anglicare SA Aged Care. Anglicare SA. Together, we change lives.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Rowie back next week. Treda's in with Timmy G this week. Ben Key's coming up in the next hour and Simon Hill to come. And before we get to Nathan Bassett, the assistant coach of Port Adelaide, we're still giving you the chance all the way up to 6 o'clock tonight to win your trip to the MCG with the Port Adelaide team this weekend. It's all thanks to RAA Travel and Port Adelaide Football Club. We're going to do that again this half hour and in the next. So 2 more chances. Louise, congratulations. You won the 13th caller through. We'll do that again very shortly. Another 2 chances.
Well, Port Adelaide, devastating victory over Brisbane at Adelaide Oval. Ended up winning by 54 points. We've got one of the coaching masterminds on the line. G'day, Bass. How are you? Nathan Bassett.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Tim.
Mate, that was pleasing, wasn't it? That was in, the first quarter. I thought we probably didn't have enough on the board for the effort that we put in. By half-time, we're a couple of goals down and, we probably weren't pleased with that. But from that moment onwards, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really strong performance. I thought even in the first half, there was a lot of positivity about how we played. It was disappointing that we gave up some of the score that we did and didn't get it ourselves. So, it was great that we could keep going. Sometimes when you don't get the reward, the effort can drop away. But, I thought the guys kept at it and did a great job.
Nathan Warren Tredrea here, mate. Congratulations. Great performance. You talk about those missed opportunities early, then conceding 7 of the next 8 goals. Can you take us through the address or, from you and obviously from Ken and the other coaches towards the players? Because Charlie Dixon kicks that one late, sort of levels emotions a little bit, but then all of a sudden you come out and kick 12 of the next 13. What was the magic recipe?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything particularly, magical in terms of the halftime address. You're trying to reassure the players as much as anything that they're doing more things right than they weren't, and then to keep at it, knowing that if we make the slight shifts and adjustments that were required, which was a little bit around our forward entry and a little bit of discipline in terms of our free kicks, then we'll turn the game around. And to start the way we did in the second half with goals quite quickly was nice.
Thought Scott Lysette was sensational, particularly early in that third term. I think he won the first clearance, or got caught holding the ball. I think it was the Brownlow medalist Lachie Neale, then gives it off to Burton. All of a sudden, Marshall kicks a goal. It seemed as if the belief really kicked in from there, and all your midfielders really got on board. That would have to be a pleasing thing.
Yeah, I think Scooter's intent was terrific in the ruck. He hadn't played an AFL game since round 4 last year, and to come out, be a good physical presence. His follow-up and hunt was very good, and he contributed well within that midfield group.
In defence, mate, I just thought everybody played their role, but gee, there were some great performances. I thought Burton on Cameron, he's stood him before and he's done a good job. This was almost comprehensive.
I thought Ryan was outstanding. I thought the way he came off and supported in the air and intercepted, the way he joined in on offence, I thought it was a complete game. I think between him, Malia, I thought Dan Houston was very, very good, and the other guys complemented really well. So, you know, I was very happy with what the defence did.
The transition for the midfield was obvious over the summer. The last few years was very much a lot of, I guess, strain on Boak and Ollie and some lesser midfielders along the way. But it looks as if the mix now for Connor, for Butters, and a guy called Jason Horne-Francis had a decent day out.
Yeah, I think the you know, those three are a great combination for us for, you know, potentially a long period of time moving forward. You know, I thought Willem Drew complements them really nicely. You've got Ollie that, you know, he's doing a good job given his limited pre-season especially, and then the two wingmen, Miles and Xavier, both running good routes and doing good jobs for the team as well.
Yeah, you mentioned those two wingmen, and you throw in Butters now back fit, Horne-Francis, a new recruit. It's almost like you've added 5 or 6 extra options who are up and going from form and also fitness that you may not have had last year on a consistent basis.
Yeah, there's some improvement. You know, I think we've got a lot of talented players on our list, and they really need to play games and play more games, and that's how we'll get better. You know, we weren't really needing to go back to the draft at this stage because we've got enough players that are good enough to play. So they're just not quite, you know, they haven't been good to great players just yet, but they're certainly starting to turn into it. And I think the two wingmen have had very good pre-seasons. I mean, getting better each week, and you know, it was nice to put in such a strong performance in round one where, you know, we probably go in a little uncertain about what we're going to deliver.
Hey, Bess, one of the things that I absolutely love, 24 marks inside 50, that just says, one, we're getting the ball in there quickly, which was one of the things we wanted to work on in the pre-season, but two, everybody in the forward line is doing their role as well to make sure they're in the right positions to receive that.
Yeah, it's a big number. I think it was nice to see all those guys up and going, you know, to see Charlie and Todd really working together for the first time in a way with Todd as a you know, genuine AFL footballer now. Like it's a pretty good combination, or very, very good combination for us. And then to add Junior and Orazio and their skill level and ability to work within that team. With some, you know, Sam Powell-Pepper, who's, you know, become one of our most consistent, reliable players, and a couple of younger people in there this week in Jonesy and Mitch Georgiadis, who still learning their craft, but have, again, need to play and have real talent. It's a pretty good blend up there for us.
You mentioned in defence, Trent McKenzie looked like he had a bit of a niggle, came off for a period of time. Is there any update on how he is? I know he finished the game, but has he pulled up okay, or soreness still there?
Yeah, Trent's got some soreness, so I think he'd be unlikely to play this week. But, you know, I was rapt that he continued on. You know, he got injured in the first quarter and played a really important role for us and won some big battles after that. So, you know, he'll be missed, but it will present someone else with an opportunity.
Hey, Bass, the trip to Perth, and it was like, I think, 9 days and all that you're over there. Was it really beneficial just prior to the season, and would you do it again? You know, not necessarily Perth, but maybe in Queensland or Sydney?
I think, you know, well, it depends who you are, Tim, as to how much you like it or not. I know my wife's never that excited when I tell her away for
understandable.
But look, I think we get some learning and some connection out of it. You get some extra opportunities to meet. You know, we probably didn't play our best footy over there over those couple of games, but it certainly gives a chance for the players to get to know each other better. And you know, actually, what the club's done really well in my time at Port is whenever we're going to travel for an extended period of time, we're well organised and it goes quite quickly. It actually feels like you're having quite a good time while you're away, and certainly I think the guys felt like that in this trip as well.
That was the thing that I thought was a terrific turnaround, was the intensity. The intensity to start the game with that was just such a delight, because you know that you can work with it from that moment onwards. In those Perth trials, that same intensity just didn't seem to be there.
Yeah, it was probably a big part of our review was around our intensity, effort and care, and how you need those things baseline before you're even worrying about teaching how we defend as a team. So I think the positives were we certainly had that back in spades. I think we were outstanding. Our contested ball winning was very good. It was the best we've probably done in aerial contests in my time at the club, and the pressure was high. So, we brought effort and care, and we were rewarded for it.
You take on Collingwood this week at the MCG. Geez, no bigger task right now after the game they played the other night.
No, I think it's brilliantly set up for us to take on one of the biggest challenges in footy at the moment, which is Collingwood at the MCG. They're playing super fast footy. They support each other in defence. They've got a very talented team, and they've got a big crowd behind them. So, I think we're looking forward for one of our opportunities at the MCG to get one early in a big game. Hopefully we'll get a lot of people there and get plenty of people watching and put in a good performance.
Well, we're going to do exactly that, mate, because we're going to draw another person that's going to travel with the team, mate. So thank you very much for your time, and look after him when you see him on the plane, will you, Bass?
Will do.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for your time. Nathan Bassett, Port Adelaide's assistant coach, and what a victory it was. A very pleasing one, but a big challenge over at the MCG against Collingwood.
And it's almost like very similar styles. Both want to play hard, fast through the middle of the ground. And I was really surprised in hindsight. You look back at the Brisbane game and go, Brisbane tried to slow it down. I don't reckon that's their go. They really did play into Port's hands in a way, because Port had their pressure, their tails up, and they played really good. What number you got, Timmy? Come on.
Yeah, what number have I got?
All right,
for the Port Adelaide competition, what's the number, Sam?
822 0055. Have it ready. You have to be which number caller?
Number what, Tim?
Lockie Jones, 34, kicked 3 on the weekend.
Ooh.
Caller number 34,
and say
get
7?
on the line.
Okay, 34th caller through. Be patient, be ready, and hit it when you think it's time. 20 minutes after 5, we'll check your roads.
At Melrose Park, at a crash, South Road near Crossroad. FIVEAA Road closed due to a blackout. That's Wheatsheaf Road between States Road and Palantinga Road. And we've still got blackouts from those storms last night in many areas, including Modbury Heights, Netherby and Surrey Downs. Traffic lights also playing up in those areas, so take it easy on the drive home. Cameras still working, unfortunately, though. You'll find them Edward Street, Door Park and Mortimer Street at Karata Park. Want to get cracking value this Easter? Save with great specials on Easter eggs, bunnies and gift sets at Big W for the family Easter egg hunt. T's and C's apply. Big W. Every day's a big day. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. 5AA's legend of the airwaves, Leon Biner, joins Matthew Pantelis Tuesday mornings. Leon shares his thoughts on what's going on in SA, thanks to NRG Solar. Don't spend another year paying high power bills. Visit nrgsolar.com.au today.
G'day, it's Eddie May from NRG Solar. More and more South Australians are taking control of their energy bills with solar and battery storage. In fact, Australians are taking up battery storage in record numbers because they're sick of rising power bills and being locked into a system where someone else calls the shots. The other huge bonus of going with NRG Solar and battery storage is that you'll be protected from blackouts with an uninterrupted power supply. Take control. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Local and experienced trade specialists.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Time to find out what's making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Rosanna Mangiarelli to the show. And Rosanna, crazy weather.
Oh, sure has been, Tim. Talk about down and out. Chaos across the suburbs as these wild winds left a trail of destruction. So trees uprooted, power lines came crashing down, cutting power to thousands. So much so schools were forced to close, even train services suspended. And we'll give you a little warning too about what's ahead. Adelaide's first covert camera to catch drivers on their mobile phones now being switched on in one of our busiest roads. Despite months of warnings from police, many were still caught by surprise. There's going to be a crackdown on vaping, the tough new rules and taxes to stamp out the problem, particularly among teens. The simple switch helping households save thousands on their energy costs. Now, a pill developed for cancer treatment is offering new hope for epilepsy sufferers. And also 7 News at 6 tonight, new pictures of the Princess of Wales to celebrate the UK's Mother's Day. Hope you can join Will and I tonight at 6, Tim.
We certainly will. Thanks, Rosanna, and all the team at Channel 7. There's only one choice. 7 News tonight at 6.
Did you know that the pyramids of Egypt, the Taj Mahal and the Roman catacombs were built to honour and enshrine the dead? At Simplicity Funerals, we believe a funeral needn't cost the earth to mean the world. simplicityfunerals.com.au.
I'm Brett Buckley from Ray White Business Sales. We've been with FIVEAA now for nearly 5 years. We noticed that fairly early, probably within about 4 to 5 months, we started to see some good quality inquiries coming through that were directly from FIVEAA. From our experience, I would highly recommend advertising on radio firstly, but more importantly on FIVEAA. Not just because of the reach, not just because you can get to your target market more effectively, but purely because of the collaborative experience that you will have in ensuring that your marketing dollar is best spent.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit fiveaa.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes after 5. Congratulations into the running, T. Baker, our 34th caller through.
Wow. T. Baker, I love that.
That's some good luck.
It's almost, like a rapper's name.
Oh, sounds like you.
T. Baker.
Might have made pasties and pies, probably more appropriate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you a chance every half hour still for our travel with the power for this Saturday's game against Collingwood.
Well, Tuggers and Timmy, there's some big interesting news. We all saw the Friday night where the host broadcaster, Fox and 7, decided not to show the incident with Jeremy Howe, his landing, clearly a broken arm.
Fair enough.
Collingwood now telling people, some news just hitting the wires at the moment, there's 4 fractures in his forearm.
Ooh.
4.
So one arm or both?
One arm, I believe it's one arm.
Wow.
4 fractures in the forearm. Some are compound, which means
through the
skin.
Ow.
So, yeah. Apologies, this sounds a bit graphic. 8 to 10 weeks are expecting him before he returns. Also, on our Foodland SMS line, got some interesting messages. Hey, Timmy and Tredders, we know this show is all about mainly Crows and Power, but hopefully you'll get around my Bombers. So stoked to see the electrifying Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody back on the ground for my beloved Bombers. He was dealing with many issues and he's managed to rise above them all, come out flying, and wow, what a comeback it was. What a wonderful moment for footy, for his people in general, and to know that you can come back no matter what you are dealing with. That's from Kerry, who's a mad Bombers fan. And it was good to see, wasn't it? Because
what a victory, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And because it was a little bit... I was shocked when he stepped away last year. And you never actually ever know what people are dealing with. But great to see he can find the love for footy again. Also, another message on the Foodland SMS. Hey, fellas, disappointed with the Crows' performance and baffled with the amount of space given to Toby Green. He seems to be mismatched with opponents. Given the Crows' abundance of midfielders, why wouldn't we throw Laird back onto the goal-kicking machine? That's from Michael at Glenelg.
Yeah, well, Laird, he did start back there, didn't he?
But he played as a half-back flanker.
He did.
The only worry is Toby Green is arguably plays like he's not super tall.
I agree with you.
But above...
Plays tall.
He plays tall. So I don't necessarily think... I think Duday was the best option, but I just think you're just dealing with, I think, arguably the best...
High quality.
Pound for pound forward. You know what I mean? He's
It'd be a nightmare to
superstar.
stand.
Yeah, and he was also playing his first time as captain. The coaches backed him in, Adam Kingsley. They've removed their multiple captains policy, which I think is always good. I'm not sure it works.
Good on you,
Adam.
Adam.
So Turtle, Kingers did a really good job on that one. But yeah, I wouldn't think that would be the matchup, but hey, you might as well try. He had 8 shots on goal.
All right, mate, let's go to the phones. We've got James on the Crows leadership. Hey, James, what do you got to share, my friend?
I just think from the Sunday's game, I don't know why Dawson was playing in the back area in the defence all game. He should have been more playing in front of the ground, playing towards the more forward area. But also, I don't know whether there's been a bit of a flare up in the whole club with Dawson being captain as Duday was promised.
Yeah, I'm not sure Duday was promised, James. I don't know. I got good info 6 months ago to suggest Dawson, if they did make a change, would be the change. So also, to a little bit of an insight, I've spoken to a couple of Adelaide officials, and there was a genuine vote, and the vote did come out in Dawson's favour. So whilst I could understand if I was due day and I had my heart set on being captain, I'd be disappointed. But I do think they've got the right person in there. And I think also we saw from Sloane, Timmy, when you step away from the captaincy, and I had that situation,
Yeah, you did.
You're able to feel released a little bit because there is a big commitment for an AFL club. Not only it's all the stuff you don't see, it's the you do hear the interviews you got to do after a loss. Not many players put their hand up for those. The sponsors' appearances, the club appearances, all that sort of stuff. So I think that is the case. But yeah, I did find it interesting. Maybe he was playing a little bit more half back yesterday than centre wing like he had all last year. Where he was exceptional.
Probably half back is where they want him. So let's go to Kim. G'day, Kim.
Good afternoon, Timmy and Tredders. You two guys must be laughing your socks off watching that Crows match yesterday.
I wasn't laughing. I got to say that I thought they wasted the opportunities in the first half to be a lot further in front.
I likened it to Port, to be honest. Port's first quarter was very similar. It didn't put them away.
No.
But they were able to get themselves back in the game where Adelaide didn't. And those conditions would have been horrendous, Kim. What was your take?
But honestly, Warren, it was like watching boys playing men there in that game yesterday. Those hardened bodies of GWS, that they just came to the fore and just brushed those lads aside.
Yeah,
you're going to get a bit of that though with the young squad, aren't you?
I understand that, but when you see, Warren Burgess spoke before the game and said how he got them fit, and they'd spent a lot more time on their skills training, and where was that? And these kicks, half-baked kicks, kicking up people's feet, trying to pick the things up. When you're in the even Dawson passing the ball out, and that got fumbled, and that resulted in the goal to GWS. 18 points. That was really bad, and I think whoever the skills coach or the goal kicking coach is there, they better reverse roles or something, because it's just not happening. I thought we had a really good coaching panel with who we've got there now.
Yep. Yeah,
but they've got to get their heads together and come up with a better formula and recipe than what we got served up yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw it all out. Cornsey, I don't know if you heard him probably about half an hour ago. He was pretty much saying they're out-toughed and outworked in those conditions. And I can understand Crows fans are frustrated but bear in mind too, whilst GWS are in a similar sort of space, right? They have still got what Adelaide doesn't have, right? They've got an elite midfield. Yeah, they've got Toby Green, who can play midfield. He has 19 kicks for. Tom Green has 37 and 8 clearances. Cornelio back to his best. He was one of the best in the comp before he lost form through injury and a little bit of form. So he had 32 and 8. Ward had 31 and a goal, and Josh Kelly had 26 before he's knocked out. Just lost the footy.
You know what?
Got to find a way to
go and see him live at Richmond against Richmond this week, and just maybe make more of an assessment then. That's what I'd say, because you can see the whole thing.
And you are going to come up against
a very good side,
a better midfield. You got Martin resting forward. You got Taranto and Hopper brought in. You've still got Koch, and you've still got Prestia. They've got a very good team, and the other bit too is I get the frustration, right? When it's not my club that I follow, you sit back and just look at the game and go, you know what, they did a lot of right, and then they've got to learn a lot of bit. And they're still learning. I know it sounds like a cop-out, but
5:30 headlines. We'll get more from Ben Keys from the Crows next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good evening, Mel Usher with news headlines. More homes have the lights back on after the windy weather overnight, but SA Power Network says not all will have their electricity restored tonight. The Prime Minister and opposition leader have paid tribute to those who died in the Iraq War, which began 20 years ago today with the launch of the Shock and Awe bombing campaign. The new SA Ambulance HQ will be built at Mile End. And in sport, the Crows have announced two-time premiership player Danny Van Hagen will return to play in Season 8 of the AFLW. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Got a crash to look out for on the drive home. That's at Salisbury East on the Grove Way near Bridge Road. Melrose Park, another collision there, South Road near Cross Road. And still got blackouts from those storms last night in many areas, including St Maurice, Surrey Downs and Fullerton. Traffic lights also playing up in those areas too, so take it easy on the drive home. Cameras are still working that one for unfortunately. You'll find them Clark Terrace, Seaton and Dawes Road at Melrose Park. Sign up for MobileCard at mobilecard.com.au for your chance to win a $30K travel voucher and other great prizes. MobileCard, your business sorted. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy tonight, down to 16. A possible morning shower tomorrow, 28. Right now, it's 22 degrees. We'll have more news at 6, and as it happens, on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
People are fed up with the road toll in South Australia. 3 more deaths over the weekend. The total for the year to date, 35 deaths compared to 16 last year. Minister for Police, Joe Sokaj.
Informing Adelaide.
You know, if I could come up with a proposed law that would outlaw being a moron, I'd do it tomorrow. But sadly, we can't.
Assistant Police Commissioner Ian Parrott.
It is really beyond belief this year how many people have lost their lives on South Australian roads.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Don't miss the Southgate GWM Mad March 4-day sale event. Score incredible deals, free rego, free CTP, plus your choice of 3 huge bonuses. This 4-day sale event must end this Saturday, only at Southgate GWM. LVD 152780.
Walco? Blanky! Walco! Blanky! Walco! Blanky! This is a game Pool and I play. Each night I come out and put her Walco blankie on. Keeps her from evaporating. But winter is coming. Soon she'll need her Walco Guardian pool cover. Sure, the fun ends, but I know she's looked after. Chemicals sealed off from the light, water clean, and no need for your pump. Get your pool a Walco Guardian pool cover for winter. Walco.com.au.
Well, BL Shipway, they bring us Graham Corns, but they've also been a South Australian institution for over 70 years. They've been looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for that time. They work with the best suppliers in the industry, including Ryco, Box Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Olipath, EasyFit, and more. So they got all the great support from all of those companies, and they have plenty of stock. 217 Richmond Road is where they live, and a team of experts are ready to help you out. But if you can't get there, don't worry about it. Just get on the phone and they will help you. They're always there ready to help. And remember, BL Shipway's state-of-the-art workshop will take care of your equipment and servicing and repairs. And if they can't, guess what? They'll send a Ryco 24/7 mobile hose repair van your way. So it's like roadside assist. Ryco, out they come, bang. So that's how they do it, BL Shipway. Support a great SA company when you need anything to do with hydraulics. BL Shipway is absolutely the place to go. They live at 217 Richmond Road, or just check them out, blshipway.com.au.
You can always expect the very best from Adelaide Appliance Gallery, home of designer appliances. Right now, save up to $1,000 on Asco cooking. Save up to $300 on all Asco laundry and up to $1,000 off Asco dishwashers. We can also arrange delivery, installation and removal of your old appliance and supply 6 months of our Power of 4 cleaning detergent. Adelaide Appliance Gallery, home of designer appliances. Paynham Road, St Peters. T's and C's apply.
Want to save big bucks on kitchen appliances? We know you do. Genuine savings, 7 days only. It's Kitchen Week at Spartan Electrical. Save big, store-wide, like up to $1,500 off the Smeg Portofino range, plus total 5-year warranty on Smeg freestanding cookers. Don't miss Adelaide's best prices on ovens, cooktops, range hoods, dishwashers and fridges with our price match guarantee. 1 week only, Spartan Electrical's Kitchen Week sale is on right now. Interest-free and finance available. Shop local, Spartan, Campbelltown and Torrensville.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes to 6. If you still want to win your way to the MCG with the Port Adelaide team, we have your opportunity to do so very, very soon. Before 6 o'clock, it'll be our last chance today. We'll be doing it again tomorrow as well, all the way till Thursday. Travel with the power. We will do that very, very soon. And Simon Hill to join us shortly.
Well, on Giant Stadium yesterday, it was a game of attrition with players going down with cramp and you name it. And in the end, it was the Giants who were triumphant by 16 points. We've got one of the Crows' leaders on the line, Ben Keys. Welcome to the show. G'day, Ben.
Hey, fellas. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, mate, it's a hot day out, mate. What about recovery? I was only saying, are you allowed to get on a drip these days straight after the game and try and recover? That's what I was thinking of doing. I was exhausted watching.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. Yeah, it was. It was tough. Tough for both teams. But yeah, we'll get straight into recovery. Already started today. And yeah, hopefully pull up well and train hard midweek and then get some cooler conditions this weekend.
And what was the assessment afterwards? You had time to sit with the coaches and go, okay, guys, this was good. This wasn't so good.
Yeah, we had our review today. So yeah, we had a look at it. Yeah, I mean, credit to GWS. They've obviously built an amazing culture over their short time in the league, and yeah, they really showed what they were about with the second half comeback, and then to hang on after losing a few players. Yeah, it's credit to them, and yeah, we had a look at what we could have done better, and there was plenty. So yeah, it's disappointing. Felt like with that big lead we had, that's a bit of a missed opportunity, but that's all right. We'll have to butter up and go again.
Ben, how much was made in that review about the second half midfield battle? You know, GWS winning clearances, I think 12-3 in that time, and looked like it was pretty tough to stop them. Albeit they've got some superstar midfielders, but it was sort of chalk and cheese between first and second halves.
Yeah, we certainly looked at that. Looked at the midfield, looked at the centre bounce, looked at the forwards as well. You know, defending, trying to get up the ground and help those midfielders out, and all of us helping the defenders out. So yeah, we looked at all three lines pretty much, and yeah, there was just some battles that were lost on the day that credit to GWS. They were able to just pretty much beat us. They were just better. It's as simple as that sometimes. So yeah, we'll have to keep reviewing it and then also move on and get ready for the next week.
Interested in your take on that. Obviously, you reviewed it. You'll work on some stuff. You'll go back to your lines groups, review it, talk about it most of the week. But at what stage do you move forward to look towards Richmond? Because it's a pretty impressive or big game for you guys. You've had a wonderful pre-season, disappointing second half. But then you come up against a team who's in some pretty good form, and they've got a 3-day or 4-day extra break than you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't want the guys to get too down and stuck on the Giants result. It would have been nice to have an away win to start the season. But as I said, you know, trying conditions, credit to GWS and what they're building as well. So yeah, we don't want the guys to get too down. We need to move forward, and yeah, we really look forward to the battle with Richmond. Played them at Adelaide Oval as well last year. So yeah, always enjoy when they come down here, and you know, they usually bring quite a few fans with them as well. And yeah, got some superstar players and some players in good form. So yeah, got to look forward to that one.
Ben, in the review was one of the positives about the ball movement, especially early. I just thought you were transferring it down really well, getting inside 50. In the end, with some better goal kicking, could have been 7 or 8 up at half time.
Yeah, definitely. I think our ball movement's come a long way. We've been lucky to have James Rahili come over from Geelong, and he's really sort of masterminded some of that stuff. But it's important to know that, you know, that offense stuff always comes off our defense and our contests. And yeah, we probably want to be known. Well, I think we are known at our best. We are a pretty hard, you know, rough sort of team. We're in and under. We're scrappy and we defend really hard. So I think it's important to not lose that. I think we lost that a bit, especially in the second half. And yeah, our ball movement looked really good, and that's really positive. And had a kick straighter, we would have been up by more. But yeah, you have to look at the whole game and go, yeah, our defense and our contest probably wasn't at the level that we expected to be, because that's what we want our brand to be as a side, and the ball movement just comes off the back of that. But I do agree. There's definitely positive signs there, and yeah, hopefully something to move forward with.
We had Graham Corns in earlier to talk about it, and he wanted us to ask this question about, was there a lack of fight over the weekend in the second half in the midfield?
I probably agree with that. We probably our method just wasn't good enough. We'll probably just beat at stoppage a little bit, and you know, there's some technique to that, as well as some structure, but also that fight component's really important. And as I said, we want to really be known as that team that fights hard and brings the contest, and we want to be one of the best contested teams in the league. So that's our standard. So anything below that, yeah, we have to look at and say, boys, this is not good enough. And yeah, hopefully we just look at it and, as I said, not dwell on it because we want to move forward.
On a positive side, you've got some scary talent in some of those young guys, haven't you? I know Rankin's, not super young, but but he's new to the club. Rochelle, the whole lot, Saligo. It's been quite scary at times, isn't it? Some of the stuff those guys can do.
Yeah, no, they are. They are all young and they're all really good as well. We've been super happy with some of those guys, how they're coming along. The ones you mentioned, also Rochelle and Fogarty, the steps they're taking. The other guys have been awesome as well. So, it's just about all coming together as a team and really nailing our message down and, just allowing those guys to shine. I think we saw what some of them are capable of. So it's exciting future to be at the Adelaide Crows, that's for sure.
Josh Rochelle had a great game. Did I see a bow and arrow? Did I see...
I thought...
Was he? What's going on there, Betty? Was he taking the mickey or?
I'm not sure. I didn't really see it, but I know he might be watching Wes Matthews in the NBA. It might be where he's taking it.
I reckon poor Xavier Dersma from Port Adelaide wants his trademark back too. It's going to be an interesting showdown in 2 weeks. We've got bow and arrows going everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to see who kicks more goals. I mean, Rochelle's in good goal kicking form at the moment, so maybe he'll get the mantle.
Hey mate, well all the best against the Tigers. It's your first home game in season 23. Get the win on the board.
No worries. Thanks a lot, fellas. Appreciate it.
Ben Keys, one of the leaders at the Adelaide Crows.
And an absolute leader, because fronting up after a disappointing performance.
It's the worst interview to cop, isn't
missing.
it?
It's the worst interview. The full credit to him. He was open, he was honest, he even agreed with Cornsy's.
Before you were captain, did you put your hand up for those? You're a bit reticent, were you?
No. I didn't. If they asked me, I wouldn't stand next to him and say, hey, I want to chat. We just lost by 10 goals.
No.
But I think it's part of your job, and absolutely well done to him.
Great
because
call.
A lot of blokes want to come out when they're doing well, but they want to go hiding when it's not working so well.
Give us a call, 8223 0000. We'll take some of them very shortly. You can tune in on the Facebook and YouTube Foodland live stream on 5AA. Let's check your traffic.
Got a crash at Salisbury East to look out for today. The Grove Way near Bridge Road. Melrose Park, another collision there. South Road near Cross Road. And still got blackouts in quite a few areas from those storms last night, including Hyde Park, Mulberry Heights and Netherby. Traffic lights playing up on those areas too. Busy at the moment, South Road at Karata Park with a camera, Findon Road at Woodville West. Beaumont's only clearance centre at Richmond just received the shipment of 600 by 600 grey sandstone look tiles, and they're all 38% off. Hurry into Beaumont's Richmond. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. On time, on budget, on the job.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
A beautiful veranda perfectly matched to your home, made tough from quality steel at Adelaide's best price. Bargain Steel Centre. We're manufacturers right here in Adelaide, so you buy direct and save. We'll come to you, measure up, then custom build and install. Large choice of colours and styles, fully welded so it's stronger, and we'll even handle council approval. Your new veranda at Adelaide's best price, or we'll beat it by 5%. Suppliers of Colorbond Steel. bargainsteelcentre.com.au.
Well, some builders might look at a sloping block and think, well, this is all getting a bit too hard. But, Timmy, they may even tell you that to look for a flatter block.
That's a cop-out.
That's not very good if you have to then find a flatter block. But, you know what? It could cost you a lot more. But with Beechwood Homes, they look at a sloping block and all they think about is, the incredible possibilities.
You got it, opportunities. Beechwood Homes know how to make the most of a sloping block. In fact, they specialise in them. So the team at Beechwood will design a home that works with the land. You have taking full advantage of every square metre. So if you have a sloping block, or a sloping block is only a piece of the land on offer in the area, and you want to live there, well, just go for it, because Beechwood has your back.
Certainly does. Well, life's good, Timmy, and as we know, it's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
Get a read on all the AFL action, team news and match highlights. Get a read on everything footy. Get a read on Today with The Advertiser and subscribe for less than you think. Hurry, search The Advertiser offer today.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
12 minutes to 6. Tredrea's stepping in for Rowie. He'll be back next week with Timmy G. And we still have your last opportunity for tonight, that is, for our Travel with the Power competition. And just if you haven't caught up with that, it's really, really good.
Okay.
2,000's worth of value. You can fly over with the team. It's on Friday morning. You'll fly over. One night accommodation with the team in their hotel.
Everything's with the team.
Briefing, that's right. The assistant coach gets to talk to you. You get an invite into the
pre-game
change room. That's awesome. Then you get a ticket to the game.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Merch pack, everything.
It's unreal.
Very, very good price. We'll do that
Trying
just
to work
before
out how we
6.
can scam our way there. Looking at the Foodland SMS line, some interesting messages through.
Okay.
Disappointed yesterday with the Crows' second half. Felt like deja vu from the last 3 years. Hope it's a small blip. Agree. Not sure it is. I think Adelaide will, whether they bounce back this week, their intent and their youngsters are certainly improving. Hey lads, interested to hear your thoughts on this. Inform Xavier Dersmer as an upgrade on Carl Amon, Tim.
Okay, I
agree with that.
Always loved Xavier.
Yeah.
I've always loved him. I thought he lost his confidence last year. As I say, you can lose your confidence, but you don't lose your talent. And he's worked hard again. I think
he breaks the lines. His pressure's
I actually
really
think
good.
the wings are really good.
That's exactly what the rest of this message from Travis
Yeah.
says. They talk about Bergman, who is out of contract end of the year. Keep an eye on that one. And also Dersman's brilliant. AFL app says the inside 50s of the Crows games was 18-0. Is that right? Not sure. All I know is that tackles inside forward 50 was pretty ugly. That is 18-zip. So maybe if that's what they were looking at there.
So any reason for that? Early on, they were just dominating inside 50, so they had the ball.
It was very much an up and back game, wasn't it? So you can't say one team dominates and goes, oh yeah, we didn't have any, but we had 18. It's a big difference.
Zero.
And when you play big blokes, I'm the first to say we don't do it that well.
Okay, zero's probably a nasty number. Let's go to Darren on the line. G'day, Darren.
G'day, Timmy and Tredders. I was just wondering these days how much practice is done with tumbling, sort of in terms of somersaults and forward rolls and.
I'd say
goodness
zero.
knows what. Zero, because looking at Jeremy Howe's terrible accident.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes you just can't help the fall that happens. But given the height that he was at, maybe if he could twist it and somehow, turned into some type of roll of some sort, might have prevented that horrific injury. And
I'm not sure, Darren, having never got up that high all my life. I wouldn't know what to do if I was up there. I'd panic. I would panic. But he's been doing it for years, Darren, hasn't he?
And he
takes
lands them normally.
huge grabs. And, but
I don't think that's the answer Darren was expecting.
No, but
they do a lot of proprioception, jumping, jump bags, all that.
Okay.
But I reckon that incident, from my eyes, Darren, it was just he got hit.
A one-off?
And then once you hit midair, what do? You can't go, you lose your axis. And it's pretty tough.
Come on, Trent. You've obviously never done gymnastics or anything like that.
From a 6-year-old, but as you can see, at 110 kilos and 6'4", it's probably not my forte, no.
No, but it doesn't matter. It's learning how to roll and because he just took his whole weight on his forearm, and that's what appeared to be the tragic sort of situation.
No, I can understand that. The only other thing is in gymnastics, there's not many collisions mid-air. That's the bit that probably throws you. But yeah, I think there are elements of that training that do happen. When we whack them for how many targets they hit.
Yeah. I must admit, my brother used to drop me to school and slow down to 40, drop and roll. I'd learned how to do that pretty well, don't worry.
Moving car.
G'day, Edward.
Wow.
Hello, how are you?
Good, my friend. What do you think of the Crows?
So my opinion is that there's a moment that I can remember is when Taylor Walker did a bump behind a play, and I feel like that was the moment where, it could have won. And another point is, what do you think of the celebration by one of the Crows players using the bow and arrow?
I just asked Ben Keys about that, Edward, and he says it...
Rochelle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Rochelle that did it, but Ben Keys said that perhaps he was imitating a NBA player, which I don't know who that is.
All I hope is that gets played. They both do it in the showdown. That'd make it very interesting, wouldn't it? But the Taylor Walker incident, Scott Camporelli in our call yesterday said wasn't much, but didn't need to do it.
Okay.
That same theory if it's not much or whatever. And he said, well, you don't need to do it.
Is the outcome worth it?
He goes, the umpire, if you don't do it, the umpire's not going to blow the whistle. But if you do it, you didn't need to do it.
That's probably
and it was I agree. It was a timely bit where GWS were down to no one on the bench. They had players cramping. Haynes was a classic. He was the player that got the ball, couldn't even run. Then all of a sudden,
he's having a shot.
He's having a shot for goal. He's kicked it from 50. So, I think it was a key time.
Let's go to Andy. G'day, Andy.
G'day, boys. How you going?
Excellent.
Good. Look, I just got in the car about 5 minutes ago to come home from work, and I expected to hear people talking about the magnificent Port Adelaide win, and all I hear about is the Crows, and they got their butts kicked for me at Christmas in the end. Yeah. Why aren't you talking about Portmore?
Yeah, you just missed Nathan Bassett a bit
timing,
earlier.
Andy.
Yeah.
God, you're having a crack. We just had Nathan Bassett on talking about that.
Yeah, you just missed it.
The fella that answered the phone said that, and I get that, but I was just looking forward to a nice, relaxed listening about Port, about their great new player, Horn Francis, and all I hear about is the Crows losing.
Well, here's your chance, mate. Tell us all about it. What did you like about the victory, Andy?
I thought that I was really impressed with Horn Francis.
Yes.
I thought he was magnificent. I just thought the way they played, they looked like the Port of 2 or 3 years ago when they believed in themselves. And I just hope they can keep going on with it.
Yeah, I thought it was very pleasing.
Because on paper, they've got a really strong squad. I don't know why they haven't won the premiership yet.
Yeah, Andy, I think we all want that to happen. But that was some great signs against what is going to be one of the good sides this year, you would think, Brisbane. So a terrific win. Beautiful.
Andy got what he wanted. Talk
yeah,
about
well, that's
Port Adelaide.
Good. Good on him.
Marco from Paralawi. Marco, you want to talk about the
Hello,
Crows?
boys.
Hey, Marco.
Yep. Just quickly on Port, nice win. An easy tip for me. I'm glad I tipped them, actually.
Oh, well done.
I didn't.
Brisbane could win away. Quickly on the Crows, it just looks like the same old. Really, we're going mid from, I think, after half time, I think the centre clearance was like 14-3, I think. I'm pretty sure it was something like that, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm not too keen on Nixie as coach. Yeah, I don't know.
Why's that?
Boys, but, I don't know if he gets mad enough with them. I don't know if he, you know what I mean, like gives them a spray or, I don't know, I think he maybe's too nice to the players. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do these days, Marco, because I reckon our era, we expected a spray.
Don't take your eyes off the coach. That was the other one.
It was a bit like that. Oh, don't get in the line of sight.
No, that's all I wanted to say. But like I said, after half time, like centre clearances, they just full dominated us, didn't they? And pretty much round one, and half the players are spent already. Like, is everyone fit or maybe?
No, the conditions were extremely hot. Yeah. It was
actually,
like,
I know the bloke that was there, and he reckons it was like bad. Like they actually were at the game, and he reckons it was like 40 degrees or something.
And you get humidity over there too. So, yeah, no, all players I think were fairly well exhausted at the end of that one.
Absolutely.
Very, very warm one. All right, just before we go to the 6 o'clock news, your last chance, Port listeners.
What was it, pull one out?
82230055. Yeah, one of the little numbers out of the bowl, please, Tim.
Jeez,
what
they
number
stick
caller
together,
do you have
these.
to be?
Zach Butters, number 9.
Number 9, the 9th caller through. 82230055. This is for our $2,000 valued Travel with the Power competition. If you want to travel over this weekend on Friday, come back Saturday after a one-night stay in Melbourne to watch Port Adelaide and Collingwood and be a part of all the pre-game with the coaches and the team and the players. It'll be an amazing experience. Be the 9th caller. 82230055. 6 o'clock news time. We'll do it again tomorrow.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
And me? I like Barbies. There's a lot of them around, but when you line them up together, the Weber wins hands down. Barnsey here from Barbecue Adelaide Weber stores. For everything barbecue related this footy season, come see me at my Barbecue Adelaide Weber stores, Jeb's Cross and Mile End. So, if you love a Barbie and you want to learn some more, come see me at Jeb's Cross or my Mile End Weber store and prepare to get lit.
Don't miss the Ranella Mazda Mad March 4-day sale event. Score incredible deals, free CTP, free Rego, plus your choice of one of 3 huge bonuses. This 4-day sale event must end this Saturday, only at Ranella Mazda. LVD 152780.
Now, it's hard to believe this, but bi-urban bathrooms and kitchens may not be everybody's cup of tea. I know it's not yours, let me tell you, Tredders, because you're a man of high standards. Because other people, well, they might not be fussed by sticky drawers or maybe not driven mad looking at something that doesn't quite line up. You've got those drawers that don't quite close. It might not be millimetre perfect or of the highest standard. Well, if that's the way you want to be, well then bi-urban bathrooms and kitchens is not for you. So stop listening to this ad. But if those things are important and you want to live with a kitchen and a bathroom that you'll endure for years to come and invite Tredders over to have a look at it and look at that, this is magnificent. Why? Because you've spoken with David Cox and the incredible team at bi-urban bathrooms and kitchens. And just remember, it's just not about their amazing result. It's how you get there that really sets bi-urban bathrooms and kitchens apart from everybody else. It's about the journey. biurban.com.au, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
With power prices continuing to soar, Solar Heart is helping smart Australians soak up more sunshine, store more energy and save more money on every bill. And right now, you can save up to $1,000 on Solar Heart solar power systems, including our new high-performance 415-watt silhouette panels. The bigger the system, the bigger the saving. So don't settle for soaring power prices. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a possible morning shower tomorrow and 28. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
10-year warranty and 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
Major crime detectives investigating the murder of Jeffrey McLean have arrested a 51-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman, both from the northern suburbs. They're currently being questioned by detectives and are expected to be charged with assisting an offender following Mr McLean's alleged murder. The pair will appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court tomorrow. A search is also being conducted at a home in Brahma Lodge. Anyone with information regarding the attacks in April and May 2022 on Mr McLean or his subsequent murder and dismemberment in August 2022 is asked to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. The massive operation to restore power across Adelaide continues. There are still more than 18,000 properties without electricity following the wild winds overnight. Some areas will be offline till tomorrow. The eastern suburbs has taken a big hit, trees bringing down power lines at dozens of locations, including Firle, Norwood, Roslyn Park and Athelston. Joe is a baker. He's told Seven it's been a slow day.
Can't mix anything, can't make any coffees, can't really do anything. So we've just slowed down for the minute, do a bit of a tidy up in the kitchen.
Extra inspectors have been on the ground today to assess the damage, and crews from regional areas are being utilised as well. The Voice referendum is a step closer, with crucial legislation expected to pass Parliament. Zach De Silva reports from Canberra.
The government has locked in support for the referendum machinery bill. It creates the legal framework allowing the Voice vote to be held. Greens leader Adam Bandt believes the legislation can be strengthened but won't stand in the way of passing it.
We're working with the government to try and ensure that that passes.
Independents Jackie Lambie and David Pocock also back the bill, giving Labor the numbers it needs. The opposition is unlikely to join them though. Liberal Senator Jane Hume says they'll only give support if there's equal funding for yes and no ad campaigns.
It's what Australians expect.
The referendum will be held sometime between October and December.
The Prime Minister and opposition leader have remembered those who died in the Iraq conflict 20 years ago. Australia joined the US and Britain in the controversial war on the premise Iraq was hiding weapons of mass destruction. No such weapons were ever found. Liberal leader Peter Dutton telling Parliament committing troops to war is always a difficult decision.
I want to pay respect to all of those men and women who wore the uniform of our country and represented us in our country's name at the direction of the government of the day. They were involved in combat operations in counterinsurgency and the training of Iraqi security forces of national reconstruction and humanitarian work.
And Rod Stewart has confirmed the show will go on tomorrow night at the Entertainment Centre. He was forced to cancel a performance in Victoria over the weekend, but has now recovered from strep throat. Now turning to 5AA Sport, and Port is focusing on round 2 after a win in their season opener. Assistant coach Nathan Bassett says there's a lot to like about the next generation of players coming through, like Zach Butters and Jason Horne-Francis.
We've got a lot of talented players on our list. They really need to play games and play more games, and that's how we'll get better. They haven't been good to great players just yet, but they're certainly starting to turn into it.
Western Bulldogs recruit Rory Lobb will miss Saturday night's clash with St Kilda after having ankle surgery. Teammate Liam Jones is a chance to play. He's been cleared of serious neck injury after leaving the MCG in a neck brace on Saturday. In the AFLW, the Crows have announced two-time premiership player Danny Van Hagen will return to play in Season 8. And in tennis, a thrilling win over Daniil Medvedev at Indian Wells final has promoted Carlos Alcaraz to world number 1. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Montfort Vale, got a road closed due to a blackout. That's Wheatsheaf Road between States Road and Palatinga Road. Blackouts are still continuing in many areas after last night's storms, including Firle, St Maurice and Glenside. Traffic lights playing up in those areas. Busy at the moment, South Road at Anzac Highway, and got a camera down Robin Road at Warrada. Want to upgrade to the new Samsung Galaxy S23 series? Score an epic offer at Optus until March 31. Visit an Optus store today to find out more. Great value starts with yes. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight down to 16, a possible morning shower tomorrow 28, sunny on Wednesday 28 and Thursday mostly sunny 24. Right now it's 22 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Widespread damage, blackouts across Adelaide. See the shock result of Adelaide's unexpected windstorm. Cameras catching Adelaide drivers on their phones, so why won't they cop a fine? A former SAS soldier arrested over alleged war crimes in Afghanistan. And world first trial, the cancer pill that could be a breakthrough for epilepsy sufferers. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News happening now.
Walko, Blanky! Walko! Blanky! Walko! Blanky! This is a game Pool and I play. Each night I come out and put her Walko blankie on. Keeps her from evaporating. But winter is coming. Soon she'll need her Walko Guardian pool cover. Sure, the fun ends, but I know she's looked after. Chemicals sealed off from the light, water clean, and no need for your pump. Get your pool a Walko Guardian pool cover for winter. Walco.com.au.
G'day South Australia, the Cheats here. Over the years I've seen some great South Australian teams, but the best has to be the team from BL Shipway, who I've known for over 30 years. They've been looking after the state's hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953. You can find them on Richmond Road with stock on hand from quality brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Hydac and Enerpac. If you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Rowie back next week. Treda's in with Timmy G at 7 after 6 on your Monday. We'll speak to Simon Hill very shortly from Channel 10. Big week in the A-League. But some breaking news in the AFL space. Shane McAdam.
Oh, we got the result?
We have. The result is no games. He's been sent straight to the tribunal and it will be decided tomorrow.
What the?
In front of the panel.
So that means he's going to face a ban, Timmy, of 3 matches or more.
Are you serious?
No, hang on. Sorry, let's break this down. So Pickett gets offered what? 2.
Took it.
And left the ground and bumped, right?
Looked far worse.
But let's just both say, both went to attempt to bump, both had head-high contact.
Yeah.
How is one worth 3 or more and one is worth 2? I don't get that.
So this collision's been graded careless conduct, severe impact, high contact. That is as high as you're going to get.
But take that back. It's not severe impact. The player
Jacob Weir got up,
left the field and came back to play.
He was cleared of the
and passed the
of
concussion
protocols.
test.
Yeah.
So
And I got to say,
they've got this
the
wrong.
Pickett one
Adelaide should appeal this.
looked like he launched higher,
Yeah.
so therefore he'd got more chance of hitting head and the like. I couldn't see much difference between Pickett's and McAdam's. McAdam's slightly less
They're genuine
dangerous.
shirt fronts.
Yeah,
Genuine shirt fronts. The only difference is
So I
think
thought 1 to 2.
Yeah.
And I think Graham Corn said the exact same thing.
And Pickett, you go 2.
So where, in anybody's logical thinking, can it go straight to
They've
tribunal?
graded it wrong. Careless, absolutely. High contact was upper chest and the head whiplash. No one wants to see that. We understand the concussion, but that is not a severe impact.
Is he using the right flow chart or is he playing snakes and ladders?
This is the
and he went up a
flowchart,
ladder.
the grading offences flowchart. 3+ matches and straight to the tribunal.
And they wonder why sometimes, perhaps interstate clubs
what are
get
the other-
annoyed and think that they're wrong done by.
Timmy, so what are the other impacts, Tuggers? You've got it
So
there.
you've got severe, high, medium and low. So severe's as high as it gets.
It's high.
Yep.
It's not severe. You can't play at the game and say the impact is severe.
If it was categorised as high impact, not severe impact, he would have a maximum 2 games.
That's Pickett.
Yep.
They got this wrong. Adelaide should appeal
I
that.
think it's massively wrong. I can't
Well,
believe
they have to
it.
appeal it because they've
I
got to
would-
go to the...
Every lawyer in town, every lawyer that's not doing anything at the minute, get onto this.
Crows
Get
fans.
it kicked out.
Port fans,
Like, to
footy
be honest,
fans.
they should be.
That's
Adelaide
ridiculous.
should be at least pretty confident to think this should have been a 1.
We've got an example
Slightly below.
here,
Yeah.
right in front of your eyes.
This is the frustration, and Crows fans, give us a call right now. Port fans, any footy fan, because this is going to affect your club this year if we're going to see the inconsistencies already. And this is all what fans want, right? They want a holding the ball where they go every week and go, that's holding the ball, that's a bump, that's an illegal bump. I get that he got it wrong, he was faced 2 weeks, but how one almost mirror situations are treated totally differently.
Well, Dave's on the line. G'day, Dave. Your thoughts?
Oh, guys, I am furious. I can hardly speak about it, but when the commentators started talking the way they were about this is the worst bump, the most severe, blah, 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 and you see Pickett, like an X-Percent missile, launch himself into him, and then can anybody tell me that there isn't any VFL influence in all of this going on?
Yeah, I also, Dave, I'd go a bit further. I reckon there might be a little bit of star factor here because Pickett's probably the best small forward, arguably, in the game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but why is he more protected? Why
I cannot give you an answer, Dave. I'm as dumbfounded as you as this because I look at it and go, even if I put McAdam's incident the same as Pickett's, which I don't think it is, but even if we just did that, neither warrant going to a tribunal with 3+.
No.
It's
No,
just
not if one's
baffling.
already been prejudged.
And it's not severe impact. He played the game out, this guy.
I hope they've got a good QC they can argue.
Yeah, here, Dave.
Darragh, the Crows are winding it up now, I reckon. They've just put the money into the system and cranking out the best guy they can get.
They'd be stunned. I reckon they would have been thinking, hopefully one. We'll cop 2 if we have to, but not 3. Sorry, not tribunal. This is unreal. Let's go to Doug. Thoughts, Doug?
Yeah, good day, guys. I don't think it's going to hurt the Crows too much losing McAdam, but it's just a ridiculous decision. I said to my workmate today that I thought that Pickett one was like a thug act from you'd see in the 1980s. I reckon you get 2 weeks for that in the 80s, let alone in 2023.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gets 2 weeks. I think that's a minimum of 4 weeks. Pickett deserves for his bump.
Well, if that got sent to the tribunal, I probably wouldn't have been surprised. But
the McAdam one, it's 1 week at the worst. It's ridiculous. They're going to drive South Australian supporters away from the game. I heard all the Port supporters after the call on 5AA on Saturday about the umpiring. And now it's not just the umpiring, it's the tribunal, it's the whole AFL. It's so Victorian biased. It gives me the earthy kits as well. So.
The earthy kits. Thank you, Doug. You just brought back a memory.
Keith from Golden Grove. Keith, what's your take?
Tell him to wear a Richmond Guernsey with Brett Cotchin's number on it, and he'll definitely get off.
He'll get off and play in a grand final and a premiership a week later, you reckon?
Gee whiz.
Yep, exactly right. No, it's so biased.
It's frustrating.
It's a joke.
Absolutely frustrating, Keith. I just can't fathom it. Having seen all the incidents on the weekend, I thought Pickett was probably lucky to get 2, but I thought, well, McAdams is probably slightly less than that.
Yeah. Or even the case, as I was saying before, even if you judge them, both had similar intent.
Yeah.
One jumps because the person was standing up higher. Rule them out similar.
Yes,
it just
rule them
doesn't
out
make
similar
sense
even.
that the one that can be deemed the less likely incident is more.
And goes to tribunal. Sean, what are your thoughts,
How we
Sean?
go? Well, my thoughts are pretty much what everyone else is saying. You know, like I think the AFL's judged on what it looked like rather than what the outcome was. They haven't taken into account that the guy got up, played the rest of the game, it hit him in the chest, and as Warren said, it caused a bit of whiff in his head to go back, but there was no... It looked ugly, but it wasn't ugly, if you know what I mean. It's football. It's been the way we've played football for years, and now all of a sudden, because of the AFL concussion rule, they're all panicking, and anything goes near the head, they're automatically trying to stomp out.
Yeah, well, then the other 2 incidents should have gone to tribunal as well, then.
And that's the bit, Sean, that I struggle with is, I think I just touched on it, the severe impact says, in that type of incident, there can be no more damage to be done, effectively. That's as harsh as it's going to get. That's as severe as the impact's going to be. Well, I'm telling you, if that bloke was out cold, that is a bigger incident than what we saw, because he played the game out. Don't get it.
I don't. Let's get Colin's views on it. Hi, Colin.
Oh, how you going, guys? I'll give you the view. I reckon that if you're going to do a bump, you have to do it with 2 feet sort of on the ground at impact. Right? Now, that Pickett dude, he just flew through the air. I think one of your callers called it an exocet missile.
Yeah, he
you know what I mean?
He did.
But he actually, he knocked...
Sorry, Colin.
Yeah, sorry, Colin. That description got a little bit too colourful.
Yeah.
We have to...
Fritz word catches you out every now and then, doesn't
We
it?
just have to keep our licence, that's all.
Yeah. Damo,
as a radio station. Yeah,
Damo has tweeted at Rowie and Timmy G saying, I'd be accepting if it was the same applied to Pickett's hit, and just being as bad as 2 weeks. You could stomach it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd be frustrated, but you stomach it and go,
I
we
agree.
chose to bump.
Yeah.
Is it as bad? It's much the other.
And I think Will Goodings on the weekend was probably expecting that. And I spoke to Will and Pembo this morning.
You could
and
tie them up in a bow and go,
Yeah.
that incidents like that aren't good.
They
But
thought
if-
I was pretty lenient giving one. So they were happy with my decision. They're not going to be happy with this. I'll tell you right now.
Keep your calls coming, 8223 We'll try and get to as many as we can, as Shane McAdam has been sent straight to the tribunal just in the last 15 minutes. He'll face them tomorrow.
So this will play out during the week. 16 after 6, let's check your traffic.
At Montfort Vale, got a road closed due to a blackout. That's Wheat Shift Road between States Road and Palantinga Road. Blackouts are still continuing in many areas after last night's storms, including Firle, St Maurice and Glenside. Traffic lights playing up in those areas. Busy at the moment, South Road at Anzac Highway, and got a camera down Robin Road at Warradale. Want to upgrade to the new Samsung Galaxy S23 series? Score an epic offer at Optus until March 31. Visit an Optus store today to find out more. Great value starts with yes. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. Sunday nights from 7, join Sean Fuster with his partner in crime, Daniel Panozzo, for Just Lawful, the Adelaide crime stories that will leave you stunned. You can make a difference without getting involved through independent charity Crime Stoppers, supported by Police Credit Union.
Get a read on all the AFL action, team news and match highlights. Get a read on everything footy. Get a read on Today with The Advertiser and subscribe for less than you think. Hurry, search The Advertiser offer today.
This is Sophie.
Hi there.
She's a local Steadfast insurance broker, so knows lots of business owners in the community.
Like Warwick from Marmalade Cafe.
With access to over 150 insurers, she can arrange the right cover for them.
And Warwick can provide me with the best flat white around. Find a local Steadfast insurance broker in your area, like me.
Steadfast, the strength you need. Deductibles, exclusions and limits apply. Insurance is issued by various insurers and can differ.
What's got Mike singing? Mike just got an energy-efficient heat pump installed by EcoVantage. Not only is it using nearly 80% less energy than his old hot water system and saving hundreds off his power bills, he got it for free. Thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you can get your own energy-efficient heat pump from just $0. Pump your energy bills down with EcoVantage. Visit ecovantage.com.au.
Did you know that Frank Sinatra's My Way was voted the #1 choice of funeral songs? With Time to Say Goodbye not far behind. And the #1 choice for a simple, affordable service? simplicityfunerals.com.au.
If you thought a good house inspector was hard to find, well, take a look at House Inspect Australia. Mike Pearl and his team are Australia's most qualified house inspectors.
Mike's very passionate about helping find cures to rare diseases by supporting the Rare Find Foundation. So he has dedicated the rest of this ad to them.
The Rare Find Foundation helps improve the lives of people affected by rare diseases and supports their families and carers too.
Learn more about the organisation or make a donation at rarefindfoundation.org.
Hello, I'm Andrea Lewis, Head of Animal Welfare for RSPCA South Australia. A lot can change in a generation, but SA's Animal Welfare Act mostly hasn't. You'd be shocked at what's missing, and we legally can't intervene until cruelty has already happened. Without better laws, our RSPCA officers can't help till it's too late. But right now, the state government are listening. So help us give animals a voice to change the law and save animals before March 26. Visit rspcasa.org.au to learn how.
Do you want to win the value of your car's service back? Book your service online at North Point Toyota, and one lucky person per month has the chance to have the cost of their service paid back. So book your next service online and you'll automatically be entered in the draw. Book your service online at North Point Toyota for your chance to have your service paid back. It's the North Point way. Hillcrest, Prospect, Port Augusta or northpointtoyota.com.au. Some T's and C's apply.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
20 minutes after 6. We'll speak to Simon Hill very shortly, just after 6:30. But the news coming out from the AFL just this last half hour is Shane McAdam, Adelaide Crows, has been sent straight to the tribunal. He has been classified in his bump against Jacob Weir. Careless conduct, severe impact, high contact, which equals 3+ matches, and straight to the tribunal.
The severe
to be decided.
impact for me is the bit where I reckon the Crows can challenge big time, because severe impact means he's stretched it off, doesn't take any further part in the game, and fails all concussion protocols.
It's the highest grading possible.
Which it's absolute rubbish.
For the impact.
Yep.
It didn't happen at all. I can't believe. I think they've got to throw the full weight, and I'd be happy to donate as a portman to a GoFundMe page to get the best lawyers in town. Aaron Brockovich, somebody like that, to get
Aaron
onto this
Brockovich.
case and make sure that they win.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking?
Well, he may have got O.J. Simpson off back in the day.
Oh, he's a miracle worker.
Rob
Yeah.
Kardashian Senior. He's
a miracle
no
worker.
longer with us.
Oh, right.
Father of all the
I
Kardashians. Tim, your
didn't know
favourite
that.
show.
Yeah.
But if the glove
Yeah.
doesn't fit,
Unbelievable. I'm telling you, you need something like that because this is an injustice. It's a massive injustice. Let's go to Richard. G'day, Richard.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Oh, I'm disappointed.
Oh, that's not good. Hey, look, I'm not blaming you guys, but the media is the blame. You watch the game and all you hear is it's the worst tackle you've seen.
Yeah.
It's got to go straight here. So the people in the
yeah, you're
jury,
right.
if you want to call it that, they're going, okay, we made our verdict. That's bad. Whereas it's the Melbourne one, they're going, he's our favourite for the Brownlow this year. We can't let him go to the tribunal, which is a shame. The only other shame, I believe, is knowing the Crows, and I'm a Crow supporter, knowing the Crows, they're going to sit down and wear it. They've got to stand up and fight.
you got to fight this one. This is on principles.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
But when do they fight it? Normally they sit down and go, yeah, we're bad, sorry.
Yeah, but I reckon
stand up.
you have to fight this one. And I get your point, Richard, where you can sit there and go, oh, do we fight it? It's 2-1, or do we take the early plea? This one, you got no choice. You're going to the tribunal whether you like it or not. And that's why I reckon it's a line in the sand moment, and particularly when you've already got a precedent a day earlier.
Yeah, correct.
Or today, was it? When did they release that?
Today.
Yeah, it was earlier today. It's there to appeal and go, how could you come to severe when that one looks severe?
No.
Unless the medical reports come back worse, which we don't know of.
Yeah, but, well, the Pickett one, we heard of that yesterday, so straight away we're going, well, ours is not as bad. He hit his shoulder first, then the head hit. And I'm expecting, as you guys, one game at the most. And yeah, you get very disappointed. It's heading in the wrong direction, guys. That's
Spot
my
on.
opinion.
Thanks, Richard.
You're on the money.
Let's go to David. G'day, David.
G'day, guys. No surprise. The Crows have been the whipping boy of the competition for years. You look back on the Tippett thing. Carlton were paying Chris Judd most of his wages from Vizzy, who's their bloody president and stuff. And then you go through to the range of things like the camp and all this sort of stuff, which has been blown up out of proportion and all that sort of gear. But the main reason I was ringing before was, and yes, they do have to challenge this one. It's ridiculous. If Pickett gets 2 and McAdam gets more than that, it's absolutely ridiculous. They've got to fight for the player and the principle there. The second one, I was just reflecting on yesterday's the Crows game, and the one thing that hasn't been mentioned, I mean, we got smashed up in the centre, and Coniglio I cannot believe why they just didn't put someone on him to just try and negate him, because he ran out of the centre like a rabid dog about 5 times in a row.
Yep.
And it was the fumbles, the fumbles
below your knees.
We were clear. We were about to go. We were about to launch an attack, and Schoenberg, he was probably the biggest culprit. He hardly took a clean first possession all day. And if he stays in, well, there's something wrong. The second point I want to make is that while we play Riley O'Brien as our lead ruckman, we are never going to develop as a footy club. We're never going to develop as a team. He's a tall man. He's not a footballer. Riley Thilthorpe is a very talented footballer, and they need to get him there and not just play him as a tall key forward, but develop him into our next ruckman, because he potentially could play in the next Crows Premiership. And I'm telling you right now, Riley O'Brien will not play in the next Crows Premiership.
Well, I think it's worth a discussion, isn't it, David? I think that'd be a discussion the Adelaide Footy Club would be having. They were very complimentary, Matthew Nix and the Adelaide Footy Club, in the pre-season of Riley O'Brien. And until the young fella's form improves and he can force himself into the team, I'm not sure things change. But by all reports on the weekend, Timmy, Riley Thilthorpe had a ripping match in the SANFL. Kicked 4 goals, resting ruck forward.
Yep.
If that can replicate anywhere near to AFL, that is the modern-day ruckman. That is Brodie Grundy and Max Gawn, and that is the future of the Adelaide Footy Club. I agree, absolutely, 100%.
Thank you, David. Let's go to Henry. G'day, Henry.
Good evening, guys. How are you?
Yes, all right, my friend. Yourself?
Okay, let's talk football. Let's talk what happened Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
For the first time in my life, and I'll digest both games as they were. The first time in my life I saw the figures 24-3 in the free count. That's the first time I've ever seen. We know which side that went to. But look, if I say any more, I might, I might have cloak and dagger stuff. I mean, my
Protect
God.
yourself, Henry. Protect yourself.
Oh, yeah, I will with all my might.
But
Mate,
I know what you're saying.
The glare that Kenny Hinkley looked at them with would have frightened the bejesus out of the Terminator. And going up those stairs, the calamity that those mad Port supporters would have inflicted on them, mate, not even Hercules would come back from the gates of hell. Honestly, they must have copped it that bad that they must have changed jocks at half time.
Henry, you're going all biblical on us.
This
Mate,
is
look,
deep for nearly 6:30.
But, mate, look, Port were very good. The kicking accuracy was superb. Brisbane was soft. They gave up. They were easily intimidated. And when you're like that, you've had the first half yourself, 24-3, speaking for everything. Give me the whistle, But to come back mentally and to achieve what they did, full marks. No. Great stuff.
Good on you, Henry. I'm going to give you a $50 Powers voucher, mate, because I have not heard some of that terminology in all my
got to Google half of those words
on Earth. I loved it. I loved it, Henry. You spend that wisely at Parafield Airport Liquor Services. They are fantastic people, pals. They'll look after you, mate.
Fantastic.
Go on,
28 minutes after 6. Plenty of texts still coming through. We'll try and get to them shortly. One here from Mick. I thought McAdam braced for contact late and tried to go low. The impact forced an upward momentum which caused the whiplash with the head contact / movement. There was another one I saw on Twitter saying Pickett was really late on Bailey Smith and airborne. Where had the football? You could just sit and think about the layers of inconsistency for hours.
And the other incident too, we talked about it in the call on Saturday, was we've just seen it come through one of the Pete from Croydon on the Foodland text that says, does Darcy Byrne-Jones gets 4 weeks suspension for intent? Because if he connected with the Lions player, which was young Ashcroft on his debut, that sidestepped him and kicked a goal, he would have put him in the RAH. I reckon we would have put him in the Adelaide Hills. He landed up that high. So that is the risk. And we spoke about it with Cornsey. You do not choose to bump when you can tackle.
It was one of the things Zach Butters took out of his game because he got rubbed out. And exactly that. I think they had a chat to him and said, listen, just go and tackle. Just go and tackle because the bumps, you're not going to come off, you're not going to get it right. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to lay a bump and get it right.
29 minutes after 6. We're going to speak to Simon Hill after our Reds. A great win. 5-1 over the Wellington Phoenix. You were there, Timmy.
I was there.
We'll do that next.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
The biggest story in South Australia, and that's the road toll. These deaths that we've seen in the past 72 hours, this lady in Windsor Gardens, she went out to get some vegetable oil to cook her dinner. Never made it home.
Informing Adelaide.
It looks very much like it was caused by the absolute moronic hoon driving of some 22-year-old half-wit who's weaving in and out of traffic and killed this woman. They should throw the book at that cretin. What the hell's going on? It's like a death cult.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Hey, Dad. The posties are back.
Oh, yeah? How many this time?
1, 2, 3. About 8. They're staring at our driveway. Should I let the dog out?
Nah, let them look a little longer.
Now they're taking selfies with it.
Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground all year round.
And me? I like Barbies. There's a lot of them around, but when you line them up together, the Weber wins hands down. Barnsey here from Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores. For everything barbecue related this footy season, come see me at my